Let him, bro. Don't make no calls to get dressed. You wear yours, I wear mine.
What you gonna wear today, bro?
Yeah. No. I've been knowing him since I was 12. We ain't never had a conversation like that. Happenstance, huh?
Right.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family, y'all. Peaceful Sabbath as we get about our Abba's business today. Yeah. Y'all, we hope the Most High fill us with His holy Ruach that we may gain some understanding today concerning His word. Shalom, Elisha ben Israel.
Shalom, Ati.
Shalom, brother. Shalom, brother. Y'all know how we do it. Men are to uncover their head and women are to cover their head when praying or prophesying within the assembly. Y'all, we got to turn toward holy Jerusalem from where our help cometh from. The law comes forth from Jerusalem, y'all. So Jerusalem is this way.
Good.
Y'all, we want to lift our hands up high. Yeah, we checked. Zeb had a compass ordered from NASA.
I got it right now. I got it right now.
$5 compass.
I'm from NASA.
Yeah.
I'm from the Deceiver.
No, it was from Walmart.
I trust them going. All praise. All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission.
Yes.
And it's in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son.
Yes, sir.
Our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer.
Yes, sir.
He's also our uncrowned King.
That's right.
Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms. In the 17th chapter it reads.
Pull it out.
Hear the right, O Yahweh. Attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer that goeth not out of feigned lips. Yes. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me and shall find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips, I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not.
Yes,
I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O Elohim. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing.
Yes, sir.
From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about.
Yes,
they are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places.
Yes, sir.
Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness.
Yes, sir.
I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Hallelujah! Say that!
Yes, sir. One thing we got to worry about is awaking with his likeness.
That's right.
Because if you awake with a different likeness, y'all, a likeness of darkness, it's going to be trouble for you looking like that.
Bad news.
That's bad news, y'all. So today's class, y'all, YAH'S image, the identity crisis. And the reason we are teaching on this today is, it'll touch on a little bit on Kanye and Kyrie, but we're going to get past that. Y'all, what we have to do is make sure that we're not identifying ourselves as a color.
Right.
We're a nation of people.
Exactly. Right.
We're a powerhouse when you read about Solomon's kingdom. We had a navy. We had an air force of angels. We had a superpower as a king.
Yes, sir.
We can't water this down to a color talking about black. It opens the door too much for anybody to ad-lib to that. Now, we know you gonna say black when we explaining some things, just like you would say nigger. It slip out every now and then.
Yeah.
You want to say negro, but sometimes you'll just say it so people know exactly who you're talking about. But black is across a broad spectrum. When you keep using black, especially black, Hebrew, Israelite, ain't no such thing on this planet Earth.
Right.
That's a doctrine and a religion of black supremacy. Go ahead, Elisha.
Because even the Ashkenaz don't even call themselves white Jews. Right.
No, white Hebrew Israelites.
Or white Israelite or white Israelis.
Yeah, what they're doing is they call themselves. Shalom, Alan. How you doing? You need all of me? Okay. One second. Go ahead, Elisha. Talk about that.
What's the title?
Shalom.
YAH'S identity.
YAH'S image.
Image.
Identity crisis. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no problem. But you notice the white Ashkenazis, they call themselves Israelis, not even Israelites. So there's already a distinction between the two, between Israelis and Israelites.
Yeah.
No need to put black attached to it.
Right. See,
we all Hebrew.
Right.
But Israelite is different from an Israeli.
That's right.
Jewish is different from Jew.
That's right.
You ask them, Jewish is to be like that of.
That's right.
Ish.
Not it.
But what they do, Elisha, is they keep it as a race.
Yes.
As a nation. They don't call it a color. No. They want you to understand this is a body and group of people. Exactly. A nation of people. And then they'll turn right around and say you black guys, and the next thing you know, we're saying black behind it.
Right.
Well, black opened up the door for all of Ham's children.
Exactly. And that's what they want to keep us
That's what they want to keep, because then you'll wander off into Egyptology. You'll wander off into the all cultures, and then you got people around here calling themselves Hebrews, but yet they dibbling and dabbling in Egypt. Yeah. And then they start to teach what's called this melanin doctrine.
Right.
Ain't no such thing as a melanin doctrine in this Bible from Genesis to Revelation that depends on what color you are for righteousness to happen to you. Ain't no such language in this Bible. And we have to be careful of that, because once you being a Hebrew say it's down to melanin, then the Hamites will reign supreme.
Yes, sir.
They'll be Deuteronomy 7 and 6 if it's about melanin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Hell.
Also understand, Kanye and Kyrie aren't new to, aren't the first to admit these things.
Right.
We had Killer Priest back in 91.
Yes, sir.
We
Whole
had
righteous
KRS-One back in 89, 85, 86.
What you
So
call
this is
stars.
This is no new information. Yeah, after they admitted these things, they were compelled to go into the darkness because Esau was like, no, it's way too early to be bringing out this information.
Well, the main thing is we got to be careful that we don't use it as a weapon to wield against them.
Right.
Y'all take my money, then I'm going to tell the world y'all ain't the real Jews.
See,
but that's about your money.
Yeah, you can't make a deal and then go out and want to ease out the back door on that deal.
I'm going to tell on you, I'm going to bust y'all out. Notice both situations are personal issues.
Yeah.
It's not about the nation of Israel and everybody concerning it. It's dealing with yours. How you now know you had a knee on your neck when Genesis 49 said the knee gonna be on all of our necks, just not yours? Right. Did it take George Floyd for you to say what you're saying about them Edomites now? You've been knowing this information, y'all, so we're glad they're doing it. Don't get us twisted. There ain't no jealousy here. It ain't nothing. But Kyrie did Ramadan. He didn't do Pentecost. He didn't do Feast of Tabernacles. We understand that, and that's what they're doing because you're dealing with a group that knows the law.
Right.
They just follow a different doctrine, but they know yours, and they know what rules you must play by.
That's right.
Once you do all, it's a problem because we teach, don't lump us in all with all Israelites, right?
That's right.
We don't want to be with the Joseph is the daddy group.
Right.
We don't want to be unless you're saying it's his stepfather. He's over him as a father in place that his heavenly father ain't here. He was given that mention. You mention it like that, but if you're saying biological offspring, we have a problem with that. We don't want to be associated with that. We don't care nothing about you being Israelites. Right. If you're an Israelite that believe the Messiah ain't never walked this earth, that's a problem for us too, ain't it?
Yeah.
So y'all, they are saying the same things to Kyrie and Kanye. They say, you lumped us all in one. Technically, you're violating Deuteronomy, what is it, don't that whore Edomite, 10:7? I think it was 23:7. You're technically violating that law of your God to do that to us. You're violating your own laws when you do that. You lump us all into one, but then, you know, if we do it to you, you got a problem. So y'all, they know what our law is, and they know it's not down between color. They play with us with color. Because notice they throw black out there. There you go chasing it. You explain everything from black instead of from lineage and prophecy. Color is not going to put us in the line of being an Israelite. Prophecy does, right, which cannot fail. Color could fail. You can have two dark-skinned people and they have a high yellow baby.
And be on Maury.
But then when the DNA come back, it's like, yeah, you be wondering how did that happen?
Right.
Well, we ain't got no problem with that because we seen two black parents in the Bible have a white child.
Yep.
Or an albino child. So that's nothing new. But when you base it on those things in color, the Hamite is going to win every time.
But that's how they bait them into the apology tool.
Yeah.
Because you relying upon a color to prove your fact and not prophecy.
And not only that, but you violate the law 23:7. Don't abhor an Edomite.
Right. So because you placing them all in there in the book of Obadiah.
Yeah, every one of them, and then you got to have a problem with Amos 9 now. 11 and 12. Or you're going to have to say and hope to explain why they're not contradicting themselves. And then when you get into white, you're going to start calling the white man the devil. That's going to be a problem because when the devil started out, he was a black man.
Had to be.
Show us where he turned white at, because when we go over these scripts today about the images of angels, we're going to see every time they came, they looked in the complexion of what you would consider brown or dark-skinned people. So we need to know how the devil got that skin color in the beginning.
Right.
If you can't do that, then you're lashing out at a group of people and you're saying that. We understand Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9. But you know the only problem with Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9? Verse 1 of both of them. Christ calls them his church. You got to explain what happened in the change when you get to verse 9.
You don't know that.
And chapter 3,
understand.
when you get to verse 10, 3 and 9 and 10, when you get there, you got to explain what happened. How were they God's church in verse 1 and now they're the synagogue of Satan? That's going to be a problem you're going to have to answer, because it says to my church.
Right.
So y'all, we can't play around with that cherry picking, because they decided they want to tell on the whole world that we Israel. If you gonna do that, you better come correct. That's all we're saying. We glad they're doing it.
Break it down.
But at least don't let
just say
them
a statement.
pigeonhole you, because they gave you every opportunity to say it. I can't be anti-Semitic from where I come from. Where do you come from, Kyrie? Do you come from black people, or do you come from the children of Israel, according to the prophecies of the Bible? I'm not lashing out at the white race, who the prophecies explain is the seed of Esau that was born of a black man. And then you'll have old Stephen A. Smith. See, I'm going to stand on it. I believe Adam was a black man. I'm going to stand on it. Adam wasn't no black man. And what does that mean? Because you going to stand on it. You understand what I'm saying? What difference does that make? Black is not a nation.
No.
We're not going to read and Jedediah bore Boaz, and Boaz bore Jesse, and Jesse bore black.
And see, this is the other thing. Are they walking in alignment with what they saying?
That's what we're talking about.
Esau knows that.
That's right.
That's why he tells them, you better apologize, nigga, because you don't even know what you talking about.
What you talking about? You done
don't have
put
a clue.
everybody in there.
You mad, and you on a jealousy rant.
Yeah.
And so now you want to lash out.
Yeah.
Because now you don't like the deal that you made in the beginning.
Yeah.
You want out.
No, you can't use the scripture for that, y'all. Yes, it's good. The word is getting
Yeah.
out, but the word must go out correctly.
And this is what I say. Follow to see if he's going to walk that walk.
Yeah.
After saying what he said.
Yeah.
See, that's what they want to see. Or you going to celebrate the days in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Or you going to walk and celebrate the Sabbath.
Right.
Or you going to do the things according to the commandments, which you professing you down with now.
You say you know where you come from.
What's that stuff?
Don't have a clue. I thought it was about blackness.
Yes, sir.
Right. We all black, ain't we?
So, y'all, we understand there's going to be spots in the Bible where it says white, where it says black, and it's going to be attributed to a certain characteristic of an individual, but it's going to compare it to an item like wool. White is wool. White is snow. But you're going to see things that where it says right there, it says he's white, but his visage is blacker than a coal. So he got white arms, white legs, and he got a black face.
Yeah.
See, that's where you're going to run into trouble at, y'all. We got to make sure we fully understand this as a promise to a nation of people that will be identified by blessings and curses.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to, y'all. Anything else, we wasting our time. What you got, Tubai?
Got a question in the chat by Octavia. He asked, let me get it back up. He asked, what do you think about the guy over there being called the Jewish Messiah? Is he the son of perdition?
Well, that's
The sun and the
what
moon
we
still
gotta be careful of. But right, we got instructions
The sun
just like
and the moon
Zeb
still up. That's the
said.
answer
Yeah,
to that.
yeah.
No, he said
But
he'd
could
be
he
the
be
son
the
of perdition.
Antichrist?
But he
Oh,
can be
okay.
the Antichrist.
He can
But
be
see,
the
we have to
Antichrist.
watch. We have to follow what he does and what comes behind
Right.
his introduction.
2
So
Thessalonians 2.
it's just like what the Messiah says. We must watch for his return.
Yeah,
We must look for those signs and wonders.
that's right.
So, and then it will reveal itself.
Right.
But we have to go according to prophecies laid before us.
That's right. So y'all, we're gonna start this off. Any more questions before we get going? You got one? Go ahead, bro.
So, when you talk about Lamentations
Yeah.
4 and 7, were they talking about their spirit?
Yeah, they were talking about their continents.
Well, when we get down, we're going to start at verse 1. So
Yeah.
we ain't going to cherry pick. We got it lined up where we're going to bring it in because we have this broke down the Father's image, and then we got the Messiah's image broke down, and then we got man's image and angels broke down. And I'm talking about, I'm speaking from the image of God, meaning keeping his commandments. That's the true image. You're in the image of God no matter what you look like, because Numbers tell us one law for Israel and one law for who? It says the same law. It don't matter about what color you are, about the same law, because you're going to have to explain what the priests are doing. Let Doeg the Edomite guard the priests. You're going to have a problem with that, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
You got a problem with Uriah the Hittite, who's an African, of one of the African nations, I should say, one of the big 13 that guards David's bed at night. I'm talking about an expert swordsman that will give his life while David is slumbering.
Right.
Y'all, we can't play games. We're not saying anybody is leapfrogging Israel and that's going to take the scepter out of Judah's hand. No, we're not saying that. But if you're going to be a light to the Gentiles, they going to soon have to show the light that you put on them, ain't they?
That's right.
They can't stay in darkness if you are light to them.
That's right.
It don't make sense, do it, license.
No, not at all. That's why Cornelius had to go seek out Peter.
Yeah.
To get a clear understanding of the vision in which he was given. But
Y'all included.
But it doesn't lessen the fact that Christ talked to him.
That's right. Look.
Revealed a vision to him. Because he was what? A devout man.
That's
a
right.
believer.
What is devout? That means you on your game, ain't you?
On your game from another nation.
From another nation. And look, most people say so Peter could teach him. Peter was only to inform him that y'all are welcome into the fold now. We still, that's why you had to come to Israel and we reveal it to you that you've been accepted in the fold. But he got a vision because of his arms.
Exactly.
Had reached up to God. His prayers had reached up to God. And the Most High sent an angel personally to talk to this individual. You don't talk, the Most High don't do that to a numbskull.
No.
He was being rewarded for his acceptance. And when he saw Peter, he knew the rule. He immediately bowed down and Peter had to pick him up. No, play it ain't like that. You can't worship me.
And Cornelius was a centurion.
Boy, look here. That's what we talking about.
High-ranking official in the Roman army.
So y'all, it ain't hard. What you got right there, Tubai?
Shirayah, Israel, in his chat asks, if there isn't the letter J in the Hebrew alphabet, what were we /Jews called then?
Well, if we get rid of language, what will we be called? See, once you start playing the letter J, then you got to get rid of the consonants, A, E, I, O, and U's.
Wow.
Vowels are not involved with the Hebrew language. It's Y-H-W-H. Now pronounce it. You're going to get 20 different definitions. So, y'all, we don't want to understand. There's a lot of letters what in the Hebrew alphabet. But tell us, how does that change the law? Was there an S in the Hebrew alphabet? Was there, and we could keep naming letters that you're saying if it comes down to language, then we through. Because none of us know Hebrew, pure Hebrew.
No.
Who know it? You struggling through it? You're trying to say a few words. Look, if you say 2 words of Hebrew and the other 99 is English, that's a problem, man. Yeah. See, this is what's happening with these groups of polygamists now. They say everything must be explained in Hebrew, but yet polygamy is a Greek word that they can't translate into Hebrew. All you have to do is ask the polygamist to say polygamy in Hebrew. Then we know you doing it correctly. If you base everything else on the Hebrew, say it without saying it in Greek. Because the Greek term of it is an orgy. The script say, if another man take a wife. If a man take another wife, I should say. So we need the 2 words in Hebrew for another. And what's the Hebrew word for wife? So it's akah ishi. Akah meaning another, ishi meaning wife. So instead of polygamy, it'll be akah ishi. I'm pumping the akah ishi doctrine. If you say polygamy and you running Hebrew at me, how you gonna run your doctrine according to the Greek and telling me to watch my Hebrew words? What you got, sis?
Is that kind of considering like straining at a net?
That's exactly what it is. Straining at a gnat to swallow a camel. The problem is Christ already answered.
In your heart.
Christ already answered the J situation. They called him Beelzebub, lower than the J. They called him Beelzebub, and they said the miracles you are doing is by Beelzebub. He said, I ain't got no problem with y'all calling me Beelzebub, but who are the works about? So just cause you say my name, Yisrael, if you doing the works of Beelzebub, your name is the devil.
That's right.
Devil Yisrael. Ain't it? And wasn't that Judas Iscariot name?
Yes, sir.
Devil Israelite. Yo, we can't get caught up in letters in the alphabet. You know why? Because Psalm 119 is the Hebrew alphabet in the Bible. It's the longest chapter in the Bible.
Yes,
every 8 verses deals with a letter.
And the law.
And every one of those letters are governed by the law. So law supersedes alphabet, because alphabet must apply itself to the law.
That's right.
You can't put the cart before the horse. Words will have you doing anything. Do you know these Hebrews out here that do polygamy say, because it says I would have gave you your master wives in your bosom, they think that actually means David could have slept with his mother-in-law? Michal's mother, Saul's wife. I gave you your master's wife to do what with?
Breaking all the law.
The law say you can't have a daughter and her mama. It's wickedness.
Both of them should be put to death.
So you're saying God, because you're breaking down bosom in Hebrew, you think that means you could break the law of God?
So they calling David an MF for real.
That's what they calling him. And don't understand what they saying. And then if you keep talking about bosom mean take a woman in your chest, Christ is in the bosom of the Father. What are you saying about them two? John was in the bosom of the Messiah. What are you trying to say? Look, Jonathan was in the bosom of David. It said their soul was intertwined. Do you know people say that's homosexuality between David and Jonathan? The script ain't never said that. That's because you chase words instead of righteousness, which is the law. Let's get some more of this, y'all. Let's get going. What you got, 2 by before we get rolling?
So another question, Sister, who we got asked.
Yeah.
Explain what they use to our children. Explain what they use to our children using crayons white is, and they put black defined as Negro.
See, that's where we're going to clear all that up today. So, color, if you use white crayon, you still ain't pointing out no white person. It ain't a white person on this earth, the color of this paper.
Right. And that's black right there.
Look, if you may get pale, as white as they can, closer to white, but you're going to never see an individual that walk around you like shit. You almost transparent. You so white.
That ain't white.
That ain't white.
All colors in the color spectrum are derived from black, and black has an undertone of other colors.
Right.
So black is not even pure black.
Right. Y'all, and it's not about color, because if it was, the Egyptians got it on lock.
You will find 2 different tones in the color black if you get any kind of black paint.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be black. You'll have either a brown undertone, a blue undertone, or a green undertone.
Yeah. Y'all understanding that? We got any more, y'all, before we get rolling?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Please explain what it means when it says a song of degrees in the book of Psalms.
We hitting that too, Songs of Solomon. Is that what you mean? Songs of Solomon?
No, it's
what?
actual songs. Like I know in Psalms 123.
Okay, a song of degrees.
133, it says songs of degrees.
Well, y'all, what we're talking about is music itself. David being a musician. Yeah. Lucifer was the musician in heaven, so that's why he controls his followers control most of the music today. He knows that music causes vibrations, certain things that, and I don't want to use the term vibration. I want to do the moving or the spirit of what it does to the soul. It moves the soul. We're not going to call it vibration because that's too close to that crystal worship they know.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't want to get that mixed up. But y'all, a lot of this, shalom, mister, a lot of this talk is coming from the doctrine of thermo, let me see what that term is called. Hold on 1 second, y'all. This is what's getting everybody confused with all of this melanin and different things. They getting caught up with this right here. It's called thermodynamics. And when you get into thermodynamics, it breaks down the universe. It says this universe we're living in now, or basically how we're moving through life, it says there's an alternate reality that's working in reverse. It's going the opposite way while we're going this way. But they're happening at the same time. Y'all, it simply is what the Facebook boy trying to do. Put us in metaverse, alternate reality. Well, when you look at that, and the writers that wrote that what did I say? Thermodynamics. When you look at the author, he tell you, weigh it out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Well, I'm not going to take your word for it. I'll explain how people are using it again to try to dominate people and tell them what's going on out in the universe. The universe have laws. Everywhere in that writing, it deals with laws of the universe. There's laws of men, there's laws of animals, there's laws of the sun and the moon, there's laws of the heavens. So everything that exists operates through the commandments of the Most High. He tells planets what to do, sun and the moon what to do. They ain't broke ranks, did they? Who the only one that broke ranks?
Us.
Boy, look here, we rank breakers.
Still breaking them.
Still breaking.
Break them on each other.
Right.
So y'all, let's get at it. We got any more before we get going? Y'all know how we do it. YAH'S image, the identity crisis, y'all. And we got a crisis about not knowing the lineages of other groups. The Bible is mankind's handbook. It tells all the nations where they are and how they came into existence on planet Earth. It deals with every individual that lived on planet Earth, how they got started. If anybody names an individual in here and they don't have no genealogy, what the script tell us to do about endless genealogies? Don't pay it no mind. Because ain't no ending or no beginning for us. We know our beginning and our ending. So we're going to get into the Most High's image and get into this identity crisis because people are painting an image of God, and the Most High say ain't nobody ever seen his face.
And that's what I was, me and Nehemiah Bar was just talking about it, and I was saying, you know, as an artist, we have a great responsibility.
Yes, sir.
You know, Most High has blessed us with a gift to see things in our imagination.
Yeah.
And to bring it forth on, you know, to make it either tangible or visible. However, there's a line we cannot cross.
That's right. According to what, Lyson?
According to the law.
That's right.
According to Isaiah 40. According
Yes, sir.
to Deuteronomy, Numbers, Exodus, all the law, the manual. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right.
And if one paints an image of an individual and one calls it to worship, and one becomes to worship it,
calls it God,
then not only is the one who's worshiping it in fault, but the one who made it
That's
is
right.
in fault. Because now you made them twofold more a child of hell than yourself.
You know why? Because
and then you getting paid and then you made it for profit.
That's right. And look, every time you think about God, that image gonna pop in your mind of some artist's work. Just like when we thought it was white Jesus, every time you said, oh Lord, that image popped up, the last image you remember seeing about God. I don't care if it's a black one, you ain't supposed to have that image in your mind.
And I've been asked to paint images.
The tickle sis.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Temptation.
Yeah. You know, I painted the Last Supper at a church. There's no problem to paint some brothers sitting around a table breaking bread. But then the pastor called me up later. Now I explained to him ahead of time I can't paint no images of Christ according to law.
That's right.
Now you being a pastor should know that and understand that.
Yeah.
So after the deal made and I was paid, I went home, did the work. They love the work. But then he calls me up about 2 days later. I guess got some inquiries from the congregation.
Yeah.
We don't know which one is Jesus. I said, well, I don't know either.
Right. Look, because that's the way it was. Because Judas Iscariot, they didn't know what he looked like.
Right.
He had to identify him with a what? A kiss.
Right.
The one I kiss is him because he blended in with the people.
That's right.
Like your brother, but he came to give you a gift. He came to let you know I'm the one that was sent. Y'all, so we got a bunch of Hebrew 2/3, y'all. We cannot forget that. Go ahead, bro.
With the churches, if they're having, say if you go to the church, they have the pastor's name on the building or in the building, would it be the same as a graven image? It's a worship.
Well, if they got
If they
his
worship
picture there, look, like they have white Jesus up there, Martin Luther King on the other side, and Robert Kennedy on the other. So when you look up toward the altar, that's what you see. So when you close your eyes, that's the image of a man. That's going to happen in Revelation 13, Revelation 16, the image of the beast. We were never to make an image of the Most High.
Never.
We were never to make an image of Christ in his glory. And y'all, that's a different understanding in his glory. And that's the main thing of the Most High's image what we're going to get in today. What is his glory? Because a lot of people going to try to run to certain scripts. We're going to hit all of them. We don't duck from anything. They're saying Jacob thought he saw the face of God. No, you saw the representative. That's who you saw. But you will never see the face of God. Lucifer never saw the face of God. He wanted to see the face of him. He said, if I can go up there and see what he looked like, I wonder, do he look like me? Is he as handsome as I am? The Messiah, the only one that been up there. That's what he mean in John. And no man has seen the Father any time to save him who was sitting right next to him. I saw him. And I'm the express image of him. When you see me, you see the Father. But what we're talking about, there's a difference in seeing Christ in his flesh, earthly flesh like us, versus in the Father's glory.
Right.
He is the Father's glory. You will not see the Father's glory. You won't see his shape. You won't see nothing because it's not recorded in any writings that the Father came down here, left that throne abandoned, and talked to people.
No.
No, you hear his voice thundering down, and Christ as the representative, and Moses as the representative before Christ came. But Christ has always been around. So we're going to get into this, y'all, and not belabor it anymore. And we're going to get YAH'S image, what his true image is, and we're going to solve this identity crisis. Y'all, we about a nation of people that all of the rest of the world must look at and say, that's the nation God chose, not the color of a people the Most High chose. So we're going to start this off, y'all, real quick, just so we can get some good understanding. We got that Zondervan?
Yeah.
Give me the definition of Ham. Because, see, every doctrine, even the doctrine of those people that calling themselves Jewish, label us the Ham victims too. And this is Zondervan, y'all, Pictorial Dictionary. Let's read who reads it. It's great. I use it all the time. Dr. Billy Graham say he uses it. I wonder have you read this in Ham that we gonna read.
Yeah, he read it. He gonna read it.
The high tone of the work and the excellent illustrations make this a prize volume. Christianity Today say they agree with what's in here. So we'll just see how the Bible defines what they're getting it from. Ham. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, probably born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor or father of the dark races. If we stop there
Let's just say black
and we say we black,
Didn't it
don't
say
that
black?
include us in there? I'm saying if we just stop there.
Yeah.
But the next verse say, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. And it tells what his curse was brought on. But it says he's not the father of the Negroes. So you got Japheth and Shem left to say where we came from. Based off of what the scriptures is saying, y'all, and we're going to get into this because Ham ain't never faced the curses we have. Ham had somebody in captivity, didn't he?
Us.
Wasn't they first?
Yeah.
So was the devil black at first?
Yep.
It had to be.
He's black as the night.
Let's get into this, y'all. Y'all know how we get down. Our high and only high priest, Yahushua HaMashiach, locally known as Jesus the Christ. He's the only and one high priest after the order of Melchizedek, prophesied in Psalm 110, Hebrews 7 chapter. He brings forth the law to every male, female, rich, poor, free or bond, Jew, and Gentile. Y'all, so today's lesson about the image of Yah, it deals with prophecy, not skin color, and lineage, and nation, not color. He has never named a group of people a color. We accept the bywords and proverbs that we are getting called, and that's what they are. So the homework is, so we get understanding, we already understand Deuteronomy 28. That's all prophecy. That don't list a color in there, do it? In Deuteronomy 28. How you know it's talking about you?
Because you went through.
Because of the prophecies. This is what's going to happen to you. So it don't matter what color is, you got to find if this is prophecy is happening to any other nation of people on earth. Verse 1 through 15 tell us if we keep the commandments, these are the blessed. 16 through 68 tell us if we don't keep them, this is what's going to happen to you as a nation of people. So y'all, we have to get it in our mind, did that happen to any dark nations? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Did that happen to any dark nation? Nope. Because those dark nations were running slavery, wasn't it?
The Arab.
Y'all can back. That's right. Y'all can back Deuteronomy 28 up with Leviticus 26 in the law, both are laws, and then you back it up with Psalm 44. Somebody got to claim that if you're claiming you're this people, y'all got to fit inside of those prophecies. Not inside those colors. Not inside those letters J and J. What is J going to do?
And that's Psalms 83.
When we say Jesus Christ, we talk about the work that he did. We can't be talking about the devil because then he'll tear down the devil's house. If we talk about the Jesus of Christianity, then yeah, we understand what you're talking about. Because that's a whole nother doctrine. That one was born on December the 25th.
That's right.
That one is portrayed as a hippie, high as hell, with a pair of dirty drawers on, and talking, not with a voice of thunder, but with a voice of Pee Wee Hermanism. Peter, James, go forth. Is that thunder? Is that power?
No.
So no, y'all, if you're talking about that Jesus, then we understand what you're talking about. Just like we understand if you say Yahushua and you say Joseph is his natural daddy. You're saying worse than the people saying with the J. Because they're saying he was born in fornication.
That's right.
No matter how you slice it, if he had her before the wedding ceremony, is sin. That means he was made, conception means to make pregnant. That means she was made pregnant through sin. No matter how you say, well, he still married her after the crime. After the crime, he married her in a formal ceremony. But them high priests had him on the hot seat, didn't they, Elisha?
Yes.
They're like, tell us why you jumped the gun. I wasn't invited to this. And she already 6 months. And they run with that his mother is a whore, but that makes them level Christ down to their level.
Right. So
And these groups that do that, like, didn't you see a picture of them dressed up as Christ, like Free K's race? What that boy name? Free K's Ray had. Got them pictures of him on them coffee mugs. That's you. We can look and see that's you. The artist drew you. Just like we seen that video of old Precious Daddy riding around in that chariot. They say he was Isaiah 42. He was the elect servant. Well, y'all hearing what the whale man saying? Behold the elect one.
Precious sweet.
And he couldn't even get up out the chair. I'm talking about all on the level of close to 500, a biscuit away from 500. He couldn't even walk up the step. They had to have men back so broad, wide as that cabinet back there to help him up 3 steps. And you're the promised one? How you going to walk on water? You can't walk up steps.
I need to stop drinking.
Yo, let's get right to this. Genesis 1:26. And then get me right some 2 Corinthians 3. Yo, we're going to get the image and show what the image is so that we don't chase flesh first. You got to chase the Father's, his inner part.
Right.
His commandments, where he say on the inside, that's his image. That's going to show me if you look like me, if you act like me. What's coming out of you. It's not what goes into a man that defileth, but what
comes out.
That's what defileth a man.
So it's circumcision of the heart.
It's the heart. Yes, sir.
The color of your flesh.
Abraham kept all the commandments in Genesis 26, and he wasn't circumcised yet. He was 99 when he got circumcised. But we read in the book of Jasher from how old Elisha, 3 years old up, he was studying with Shem and Noah.
Yes, sir.
He been knowing he was Hebrew that whole time. But then the covenant of circumcision came.
And what they gonna do about Cyrus, his servant?
Oh, look here. Elisha, and
His anointed.
His anointed. That's what he called Cyrus. What was he? The Syrian.
Yeah.
Genesis 1:26, y'all. We're gonna move through these. 2 Corinthians 3, and then we're gonna get right to Revelation 22. We're gonna show the Most High's image, and then we're gonna go through just these few so you can understand, and then we're gonna get down to the points of where you think that may have been the Father, but it was his chief representative, the only begotten of the Father. See, once you've been taught that he only came on this earth 2,000 years ago, you're going to miss him in Genesis 1:26. You're going to miss him talking to Abraham. You're going to miss him in the burning bush with Moses and with Joshua. You're going to miss him because you think it's the Father leaving the throne abandoned. Don't you know Satan still have access? And when he say, where you coming from, Satan? Where he say he was coming from?
And up and down.
If the Father down here and he get loose up there, what the hell is he? He'd be sitting on the throne, wouldn't he? He gone. He gone down on earth to see something about Sodom and Gomorrah.
Now's my chance.
Now's my chance. No, y'all, we gonna get some clear understanding on what the glory of the Most High is. And then, y'all, we're going to see all these scriptures that we may use as black. We're going to have to make sure it's not in that mourning state. Right. Meaning that I'm down and out.
Right.
I'm feeling black today. That don't mean nothing. See, everything they show bad, they attribute it to black. Well, how about it's Ham them and not us? See, if you group it all, then it's everybody. But if you keep it nation, then you clear up the matter.
What about the light-skinned folks? Is they?
Well, look here, sis.
It can't be.
Look, Abraham is the father of color, or is he the father of what? What is Abraham the father of?
Light-skinned Negroes is a new breed.
Well, boy, look here. Let's get some more, y'all. Genesis 1:26.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 1. Start the reading in verse 26.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there?
Yes, sir.
Verse 26. And Yah said, let us make man in our image.
And let us make man in what?
In our
See,
image.
we got to get past this hour first, so he's agreeing with individuals. An hour. Who is the hour? Some will say, well, it's all of the angels and, you know, that's the power. But you're still saying that the Most High is saying he has some company with it. Right? A hour plural?
Yes, sir.
Let's read some up.
After our likeness.
After our what?
Our likeness.
Uh-huh.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Uh-huh.
And over the fowl of the air. And over the cattle. And over all the earth. And over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Oh, go ahead.
So Yah created man in his own image.
And what kind of image?
His own image.
Uh-huh.
In the image of Yah created he him.
Uh-huh.
Male and female created he them.
So now we are whole there, but we have to be careful because of the creation of this. He created him in his image. So if you're looking at image only in a color, first you got to prove God is black. If you're saying that the first man is black. If you're saying this man is anything other than a man with knowledge, you got to be careful if you're naming him a group of people that they've been digging up and say they're at least 1 billion years old, 150,000 years old. Because from Adam to where we are right now is 7 to 12,000 years since the garden. If you got somebody and you say this man here is 2 billion years old and he evolved up to this point, we need the records for those 200,000 years. Because from Adam, even if we do each one of these days from Genesis 1 and 1 down to Genesis 3 or 2 where it's saying the 7 days, even if we do them 1,000 years apiece, just say that's 7,000 years from Adam to them sinning. Up until now has only been another 5,000 years. 7 and 5 is what?
12.
Who the hell is this man that's here for 200,000 years and don't know what fire is? If that's where you coming from that angle and he has no genealogy, y'all, that's what we're talking about. Real quick, Genesis 5 and 1.
And Dan, could you hit
Go
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23?
Oh, yes, sir.
That goes right with this in his own image, and it has nothing to do with color. But it goes right with
Write that down. We'll
Genesis
just
1:20.
add that right after this Genesis 5. Like, should we get that? Go ahead, Genesis 5 and 1.
This is the book of the generations of Adam.
Uh-huh.
In the day that Yah created man, in the likeness of Yah made he him.
How he make them?
In the likeness of Yah made he him.
Verse 2.
Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created.
So either Genesis 1:26 is talking about somebody else, but this says male and female the day he created them. We need another creation story because Genesis 5 said that one belonged to Adam. You're not going to get anybody else, y'all. This is what we have to be careful of. If you put another group of people on this earth that don't have no sense, don't know what fire is, dig in their rear end and eat it.
Uh-oh.
And they've been given all the commandments of
That's
God.
gross.
Look. He smells his fingers after he get through. Look, so what we're talking about, that's what you're saying is in the image of God. That's going to be a problem for anybody that run it at you, y'all. And we're not comparing what nobody believes. What we're doing is putting up safeguards so that you may be answered these scriptures and they don't come back void. Y'all, we have to study to show ourselves approved. Instant in answers. Instant in questions, y'all. We can't be saying, well, you just don't understand right now. Well, you make me understand what it's saying.
Right.
You know, or I'm going to be chasing the wind. Right. And you know, y'all, you know what happened when you chase the wind. It's crazy. You'll do something you don't want to do. Somebody say, I farted. You say, you sure did. You can't do that. What you sniffing for?
Boy, you crazy.
Boy, what the hell is what you want to sniff for? Man, something dead inside of you.
You need to be moving.
So boy, look here.
Get out of rain. Open the window or something.
What that you want to hit, Lysa?
Oh, man.
I got it.
Go ahead, read that, Isaiah.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23.
Yeah.
For Yahweh created man to be immortal.
What did he create him to be?
Immortal. And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Of his own eternity, y'all. That's what it was. Immortal and eternity. So he made the first man to live forever. Like he lives forever.
Ancient of days.
It ain't got nothing to do with no color. What tribe was Adam? What tribe was Noah? What gate do they go through in the kingdom? What gate do Enoch go through?
There's 12 of them. Which one?
Or do they stand out on the court of the Gentiles looking in? Yeah, dog. I went up to the heavens, man. I saw that y'all was gonna be in there.
Abraham is a friend.
Yeah, look here.
He a friend.
And it's called Abraham's what? Bosom. Paradise. 2 Corinthians 3, start about 13. Then we're going to hit these, y'all, Revelation 2:20. We're going to hit these Daniel 7 and 9 because we're showing the image of God first, supernaturally, eternally, omnipotent, above everything that ever existed. He's the creator of the universe. He is not the universe. He made the universe with laws. He's above the universe.
Come on, you better talk about it.
Where we at? 2 Corinthians. Let's get that.
What'd you say, 15?
3.
3?
Yeah.
No.
Start about 13. Is that what I said?
That's what I was at.
Okay.
I got the chapter right.
Yes, sir.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13. And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is about. But their minds were blinded. For unto this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament. Which veil is done away in Christ.
Which veil is it done away in?
In Christ.
So now we have to look, because we're going to get into that Exodus where Moses came off the mount. He shone like the sun. They couldn't look at him. They say, put a veil over your face. We can't look at you. So he brought the law of Moses and Aaron. It's the same law. He just presented it to the people with that same likeness of God over his face, supernatural lightning. But it's saying, he's not the one, though. Even Moses told you, I'm not that glorious one. Because I'm telling you in Deuteronomy 18, it's another one coming that supersedes me, like John the Baptist say, there's another one. I shall decrease, he shall increase. And him and Moses out of the same tribes. Both are Levitical priests, right? So we have to understand what this is saying here until we see the veil on Christ's face. Till we see him clearly, because they were talking about him. That veil Moses had on was just to get you in line till he show up. So you could be in his image, like he finished that Psalm 17, the last 2 verses of Psalm 17. So when I awake from my sleep in my righteousness, I'm in his image. If I wake up in Moses' image, that's going to be a problem. Because I'm going to wake up in the image of a sinner
who died before seeing getting to paradise.
Boy, look here. Couldn't even go in paradise. Let's read some more. What else does it say?
Verse 15. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Most High, the veil shall be taken away.
See, so when you come to Christ, getting out, it's not saying do away with the Old Testament. It say get out of that priesthood of Moses, them calling the shots. They were only doing it till we got here. That's why it says there's no greater prophet than John the Baptist born of women. Well, we're going to go to this Deuteronomy 34 where it say Moses was the greatest prophet that ever spoke face to face. You're looking at it in 2 different ways. You're looking at it the wrong way.
He was the start of it. His little brother or little cousin, John the Baptist, the offspring of Zachariah and Elizabeth, was the finisher. He's the one that said, here you go. Here he is. This is the Lamb of God. This who Moses and the veil. I'm pulling the veil off. It's him, y'all. It's him.
He's the introducer.
He's the introducer.
presenter.
That's why they said that there's nobody born of women that would be like John the Baptist, because he introduced the Messiah.
Come on.
Moses told us he was coming. Moses met him personally, but John the Baptist introduced him to Israel. What you got, bro?
And the world.
And the world. Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
Could the veil also represent the, I didn't say ignorance, but the kind of lost state that we're in when it comes to the commandments of the Most High? Because a lot of people don't really understand how to really live by the commandments. That's why the Messiah had to come. Because we didn't understand it. Like, I've been in church my whole life, and I didn't understand it, half the stuff that was going on until the Most High opened up your mind. Take that veil off your man.
Right. Well, that veil that he's talking about is because he had to put that on so they couldn't look at him in that sinful state they was in. You cannot look at glory in your filthy state of mind. So he had to put that on and represent, because as soon as he come down, what was they doing with that golden calf?
They was having an orgy. Right.
And you see the Messiah in his glory, and y'all hunching wildly.
That's why he said no man can look upon the Most High in his glory and live.
And live. You can't even look. And when we understand the Father is the head of who? Christ.
Right.
Christ the head of man.
Right.
Man the head of woman. Right. Woman is man's glory, right? Yeah. Then who's the man is the glory of Christ.
Right.
Christ is the glory of who?
The Father.
So when we get this clear understanding today, and we're going to get it, you're going to see everywhere it says, let me see thy glory, is talking about the Messiah with that veil raised where you can look at him in righteousness, because that's where he was. He said, you're no longer going to look through a looking glass. You're going to see me face to face, the Messiah in truth and righteousness. That's how we have to look at each other. In true righteousness. We can't look at each other like, I know he got a fault, you know mine. Then the glory ain't went nowhere. We still got that veil over our face of Moses. Mm-hmm. We still need to be whooped on our rear end. We're still outer cup. Yo, you got to remove that veil to say, well, they didn't catch me doing wrong, so ain't no wrong. What? You just got away, didn't you? It's like the 3 boys robbed that bank. The police grabbed 2 of them. Come on, get y'all ass out of here. Y'all going to jail. The 3rd one hiding good. They're like, come on, man, they got us. They got us. They got you too. I was hiding good.
Right.
Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Now the Most High is that Spirit.
Uh-huh.
And where the Spirit of the Most High is, there is liberty.
See, there's liberty where that Spirit is. When you take off that priesthood of Aaron that has to correct you continually on your bad behavior. Y'all, do you know Abraham never wore fringes? Shalom, bro. Y'all know Abraham never wore fringes? Mm-hmm. And he kept all the commandments. What were fringes introduced to Israel?
Disobedience.
For what, Elisha?
Disobedience.
To disobedience. Don't you pump your chest out about no fringes, and they were made for disobedience for that time period. Yes, it was good. It was showing a culture, but it came from disobedience.
And
that's why you gotta
you from being disobedient.
Look here.
It don't stop it.
Look, because all the ones that sin had them on, they didn't look down. Didn't nobody do this and say, I'm going up in that tent I ain't supposed to go up in. Yeah, that beast's rear end.
With your fringes on?
With your fringes on.
Even without them. No.
Y'all, so we're not saying don't wear your fringes. What we're saying is circumcise and fringe your heart first.
That's right.
So you don't have to have nothing on, because if you butt naked, what do? How do you then profess the word of the Most High when
Wait a
you ain't got
minute.
no clothes on?
Wait a
Hold on,
minute.
let me grab my friend's shirt.
Boy, look here. Do you just have a fringe, being fruitful and multiply garments so that you don't get out of line? You naked and you just got a garment on like a garter belt. You strap it on to keep you from getting out of control so the bed stays undefiled.
No.
Do you need that license?
I hope not.
Let's get some more, y'all.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
But we all with open face.
With what kind of
beholding-
face?
Open face.
Uh-huh.
Beholding as in a glass the glory of the Most High, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Most High.
So y'all, once we understand that, y'all, we're trying to transform our image. That where when they see what or hear what comes out of your mouth, or they don't judge you about your color. Because once you say black, they don't know you Israel until you say something, right? You may get thrown in with somebody else. Here come that black troublemaker. They don't know you a prophet of the Lord. If we keep identifying ourselves as color, these bywords and proverbs, nigga just stings more than saying African American, but they still bywords and proverbs, ain't it? They just a name to be called by. First it was that, then it was Spirit Chucker, then it was Jungle Bunny, then it was the Cursed Ones, then it was colored. What color?
If you got spooky jiggles.
And then you get up to now Afro-American, so we were once named after a hairstyle.
Soul brother.
Look, soul brother. There's only one group of people that keep getting the bywords and the proverbs to identify you every 10 years for the rest of the world. What would Tubai be called right now in Zeb and Elisha? Bald Americans?
Right?
Dread Americans? Look, troglodytes, yeah, like you said. So, y'all, we don't want to get tangled up in that, y'all. We want to get caught up in the image of God, and that means I'm doing what He say, no matter what color I am. Or we're going to get caught up in the light skin and the dark skin argument too, ain't we?
Yeah.
How do you go out of style and another color of Israel come in style? Light skin came in and ran its course. Now we back to dark skin again, ain't we?
Right. Once you go black.
Look here. Look, you can never come back because you chasing color. Versus righteousness, which has no color. If it was about color, then the Hamites would have it on lock. Ain't nobody melanin stronger than theirs. We got some black people down here.
Not purple black.
Not purple black like them. I'm talking about when they walk past a bag of charcoal in Home Depot and say, "Daddy." I'm talking about that black. That black. What you got? Go ahead, brother.
Father of cold.
Right, we don't see that word is used to be compared to a black state.
Kevin Jenkins in the chat asked,
Shalom, Kevin Jenkins.
when y'all said replenish the earth, what was before then?
Genesis 1 and 1. 1 and 2, bohu and tuhu, that Jeremiah 4:23 speak of. 2 Peter 3:8, 5 through 8 speak of. The world that was before Adam and Eve that was overflowed with water. Shalom. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The world that was before, this came out of a flood.
Out of a flood.
When Satan them ruled planets.
That's why you have the firmaments or the water separated.
Yeah.
One went to the up, one went down.
That's right.
One formed the seas and the other formed the heavens.
That's right.
And
But-
if you look up in the sky today, it looks like water.
Yeah, it do. Where we at?
One more question.
Okay.
Maurice Richardson asked, Shabbat Shalom, not asking to answer this question
You
in
ain't-
class, but are visitors allowed? I would love to come visit you all. From
Oh, visitors allowed. Yes, sir. That's,
Bruh, our
that's,
home is your home.
Sometimes they want to hear.
I understand, y'all. Look,
Somebody
we're
say,
not
"Yeah, bro, come on
we're
in."
not that group. This is the assembly.
And we're not checking
Your credentials.
W2s or anything.
This is the assembly, one of the assemblies in St. Louis. This is the Order of Melchizedek Assembly that believes in Christ Yahushua, born of a virgin, crucified on Calvary, set to make his second coming. That's what we teach down here. If you agree with that, then come on down. But we're not going to entertain Joseph being his daddy, because you can't find that in the scripture.
That's right.
Unless you just saying his stepdaddy, but just say that. But you can't get majesty if he's his physical father, because of how he produced her according to y'all. It's sin. There's no way to get around when he said, I want you to get married like this first. Tell the whole public so they can say, no, that's Rufus' woman. That's why it had to be public before you go in them chambers, because now that's adultery, ain't it?
That's right.
So if he went in them chambers first and then came out, we's married now. No, that's what these rogue groups teach. Bust you loose and then we marry. And then there's no responsibility. It wasn't no responsibility for the whole world to see it publicly. Christ's first miracle was where?
Turn the water into wine and the wet.
Right. When Jacob got married, did they have feasts before he finally said, turn them lights off? Turn them off. That was a feast day. Then when Samson get married in Judges 14, he said, give it to me for 7 days. The feast is for 7 days after the public acknowledgement. And we ain't talking about you got to have no big old fabulous wedding.
Right.
Her mama, your mama, sitting at Applebee's. Y'all, we going to go and do the thing, and just want y'all to be first to know. The mama know about everything, don't she?
Yeah.
Well, girl, you better wait a minute, you know. His wife is locked up and supposed to be getting out next month.
Right.
She killed another woman about him. Did you know that? He ain't told me nothing like that.
It wasn't either.
And y'all finna consummate this, and he ain't told you that she's scheduled to get out the penitentiary in 2 weeks?
Oh. If you have the lost books, read the book of Mary and
Yeah.
the Provision of Mary.
Yes, sir. Provision of James.
Of James.
Yeah.
Because they will tell you, and Mary will tell you in her own words.
I never
she was
knew, man.
devoted to the temple.
Right.
Yeah.
So she wasn't going to do anything that was going to hinder her salvation and her purity towards Elohim.
Yeah.
That's why she was chosen. But you also see why Joseph was chosen.
That's right.
He came from a group of widowers.
Yeah. 70 years old.
Elders. And they cast a lot, because the lot was cast in for the case of no lust being involved.
A 70-year-old man shouldn't have those type of thoughts running around in his mind.
He was beyond that. He already had children.
And then when he out of town for like 3 months, then he had to go
6 months building houses and came back.
But the thing is, when he was chosen to espouse Mary, he went and prepped his house. He went and got everything in order.
Yeah.
So that when she came home as his wife, she was well taken care of while he was out handling his business.
That's right.
She didn't have to worry about a bill overdue.
None of
She
that.
didn't have to worry about a change of raiment.
None of that.
No food, not being on the table. All of that was cared for.
Yeah.
Before he checked out and had to go to work.
And now you understand when Abigail told David, I will be your handmaid. You know the only problem with that, when they teach that handmaids are sex slaves, Nabal was still alive. So if she made that statement to David, I'll be your handmaid, like how they teach handmaids are sex slaves, then she said, I'll be your sex slave while my husband Nabal is still alive. Do that make sense? No, what it meant is she understood David had the household of Israel. He takes care of all the widows. When you understand 1 Tim 5, that's what it means, the man to take care of the whole household. His mother-in-law may have to come live with him if her husband dies. If his daughter's husband died in war, she get to come back home to his house. So there's that covering, y'all, that we have to understand what was put in place here when these things were put down. That's why Abraham is called the father of many nations.
Yes.
because he left inheritance for all his boys. And we're going to get into those lineages so you understand the difference that the so-called white Jews descend from Esau. And we're going to give their lineage so it can be traced. So now when you get into the contest with them, you can point to where their existence is. Because the bottom line is, if you got black Jews and white Jews, one is Esau and one is Jacob. You're not going to get anything else unless you get a religion.
Right.
Called Judaism, which is made up. And that's where you get all of your who's called Khazars. They convert to the doctrine of Judaism. That's why they can come from any parts and go back to Jerusalem. But we can't.
Right. And that's why if you get Mein Kampf, Hitler's book, Mein Kampf.
They say Hitler was lying.
Yeah, that's what they want people to believe, because and it's amazing how after a lot of Negroes started purchasing their books, they took it off the shelf and revamped it.
Well, it made a lot of money. They redid it. It's the bestseller now. But look, this is what is the bestseller for what they call tropes. That means things that can't be proven. And they never prove what they were saying from the scripture. They prove from what they said, the book, so they get to interpret what you were reading. Right. You were reading what Hitler said on this. Mm-hmm. You were reading this other script, and that's all they quoted out. They did not attack any of them for the scriptures they quoted.
Right.
See, you know why? Because the bottom line would be, you would have to say the Bible promotes anti-Semitism and hatred of a nation if you use the scripture, and they cannot, because of Public Law 97-280 says the Bible is the official word of God, and it's in the courtroom. Yeah. If you say it has hate speech in it, they would have to take it out of the courtroom.
Yeah, they have to throw it out.
They ain't got it in there.
Y'all see, so that's where we have to come from. Go ahead,
that's why they attack any Negro that
they're attacking those
black
tropes.
Hebrew Israelite. That's why that one white boy that interviewed Kanye asked him, "Are you in relation to the black Hebrew?"
They see, we don't know that color, black.
Some of those guys are rolled.
Look, he should have said, "Are you related to the white Hebrew Israelites?" But they're not saying white. They keep saying nation and race. We're saying color. Y'all understand the difference? They keep saying nation and race. You offended the whole race. How do you offend the whole race of black? If you do, you got to include all the black people on earth.
All of them.
And that may include people from India. They black, ain't they?
They black too.
Some Arab, they call them sand what?
Nigga.
Sand what, license?
Nigga.
They get included when you let them tell you black. You say, no, okay, you're the nation of the Jews, there's a problem. Whose heel did you have hold of? If you Jacob, who was Esau you turned loose to get this power? We need to know who that group is. Because then that eliminates us. Or we waking to grab your heel. And you think we don't know. Go ahead,
do was go to the prophecy of Jacob giving the blessing of the earth to Esau.
Well, you know why he don't want to do that?
He could prove how they own everything.
Right.
Their massive ownership.
Through scripture.
Through scriptures. Right. And then they couldn't argue with him.
Right.
Because it's written thousands of years before your existence.
Right.
It's laid down.
Now say the Bible is anti-Semitic.
With evidence.
Say the Bible is anti-Semitic now or promoting hate speech. That's what you would have to say. Shalom, y'all. Come on, baby girl. Come on in here. You looking like a stranger. Push. Shalom, Push. How you doing, bro?
Shalom, family.
Excellent, brother. How thou?
Bless.
Yes. Let's get into it, y'all. We need to get caught up, y'all. Hey, Emo, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Brother Daniel, so before they went back to Israel, they didn't even consider going to Ghana.
Who?
Uganda.
Benjamin Carter?
No.
Who?
The Ashkenazis.
Well, those are just offshoots. Yeah. Ashkenazi and Sephardim is like Scottish and York Rite of the Freemasons. Right. It's just the two factions of Judaism, Ashkenazi and Sephardim. There ain't no race of people you can trace back to neither one.
Right.
That's what we're talking about, who you can trace back to. You can't trace back to a religion. And that's what they're trying to have us do, trace back to a religion called black. That's what y'all promote. Aren't you black Hebrew Israelite? Well, there's no such thing in the Bible that I ever read said black Hebrew Israelite. Not in the Bible. Christ was an Israelite. Now, the bottom line, I'm asking y'all right today, there was a Kanye to say, is he white or black? Since y'all throwing color, what color was Christ? They say probably brown, because in our writings he's boiling in hot doo-doo. That's in their writings. He's probably brown, because we say he boiling in hot doo-doo for saying he the son of God. Do y'all know that's in the Talmud?
Yes, you're right.
That's where the brown is.
Huh?
But it came through Judah, so how did you?
Well, this is the bottom line. When we get through here, y'all, we're going to understand what's called whole names. Like Paul said, I'm a Jew of Tarsus.
Yes, sir.
But then Romans 11, he gets down to business. He say, I'm Judah's the head tribe. He's my big brother. So when I say Jew, I'm a Jew, that means I'm taking orders that he still until Shiloh come. He's the big brother. But if you want to get down with my tribal origin, he say, I'm of the tribe, I'm an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. So he can't be a Jew technically because he's out of Benjamin. Judah are the Jews. That's who would be the true Jews, the offspring of Judah only. But when we lump it in whole, we say Jews are Gentile because the Gentiles don't have a power head. They have all nations like the United Nations. So they're just lumped in all together no matter what tribes they are as the Gentile. And then you got Jews, which is their head tribe is Judah. So all of the other 11 tribes are looked at as Jews. And then you got all the other nations on planet Earth looked at as like the Gentiles, even though they're individual. And they will break down their individuality if it come up. Just like they break it down in this land. Like the boy they call the freak, not to cut you off, like play for the Milwaukee Bucks that's dominating the center.
He from Ham, man.
Look, he from Ham, just like Akeem Olajuwon. They said the Nigerian train. See, they name where he come from, but you black. Right. Christian Okoye that played for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Nigerian nightmare. They named Obama the what? The Kenyan. But what about us? The Afro-Americans.
I'm not Irish. My last name is Irish, but I don't look like it.
Look, Irish Americans, but they go back to Ireland. They know what country. Look, in England, Ireland. Right? Y'all know what I'm saying? Ham seed go back to Zimbabwe, Rhodesia, Ghana. Where is Black land? Where is Negroville? Where is Coon County?
Look here. There's several places where
y'all, let's speed this up. Revelation 2, verse 3 and 4, y'all, and what we're talking about is the image of the Most High. When we will see it, we're going to run through these really quickly because we got to get caught up, y'all. Questions are answered, y'all, and like I say, if you understand what cup we drink from and you want to come visit us, know the cup that we drink from. We don't mix liquor. We don't pour Hennessy in a glass that already got E and J in it.
That's nasty. That just sounds nasty.
We drink from the cup of Messiah, born of a virgin, talked about in Isaiah 7th chapter, Isaiah 53rd chapter. Pure and undefiled to match the undefiled, unblemished lambs that we used on the Passover. How you going to bring him in blemished and you talk about that veil over Aaron and that Passover to where you look at a beast greater than the Messiah? That's what you doing. That's what we just read when we was talking about that veil still over the face. Mm-hmm. You still looking at a beast more than you do the Messiah in his glory. Y'all chasing flesh. That's why you can have a man say he's the Holy Spirit and got bumps on the back of his neck and suffering from diabetes. Wait a minute, how he gonna heal and he can't heal himself?
Right. He's a comforter, though.
David Koresh talking about I can open up the 7 seals. You can open what until you do this?
You can open 7 sealed bottles.
You got on glasses. Yo, let's get caught up, y'all. We got to get caught up, y'all. Where we at, Daniel? Did we get Revelation 22, 3 and 4? Y'all, we're just talking about when we will see the Father's face. And if anybody ever sees the Father's face, and we're going to get into what is the glory of the Father. And we're going to see that he's never got off his throne. He wasn't even off his throne in the Garden of Eden. Remember, he said he talked to Adam, and then he blocked Adam from seeing him. That blocked the communication. I remember saying Adam could just look straight up.
Yep.
He blocked that off, so he wasn't even in the Garden of Eden. That was the tree of life. That was Christ in the Garden of Eden. Yo, this ain't hard only if you try to move Christ out of what he said. I'm the volume of the book. What does volume mean?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And that 1 to 10?
Yep.
And everything in between.
And everything in between. He says, you can find me in Genesis and you're going to find me in Revelations. I'm Alpha and Omega. Everything y'all dealing with was created for me.
And by him.
And by me with the Father. He created it for me because he owned everything else. I'm going to give you earth and the rulership of it. And the heavens, this general area. But my throne, you always going to sit at my right hand, son. You're after the order of Melchizedek. You're a priest. I'm Melchizedek.
Right.
You run my order, Messiah. I'm Melchizedek. I'm without father and mother. You have a father and a mother. I'm your daddy and Mary your mama. You're not Melchizedek. You're after the order of Melchizedek.
That's
the
right.
father is Melchizedek.
That's right.
Let's get some more, y'all.
Ancient of days.
Yes, sir. Where we at?
You say Revelations 22?
No, yeah, 22, 3 and 4. Then we're going to hit this Daniel 7 and 9 through 14. Enoch 48. Y'all, and then we're going to see Yah's image that nobody has ever seen it. Then we're going to get to the scripture where people thought they seen the Most High's face. You saw his representative. Let's get some more.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 3.
What it say?
And there shall be no more curse.
What shall it be?
No more curse.
Uh-huh.
But the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb shall be in it.
And of the who?
Lamb.
See, so we see two individuals continually, don't we?
Yes, sir.
So, y'all, the Trinity, some people say, y'all talking the Trinity. No, we ain't.
No.
The Trinity is one individual that splits itself into 3 people.
Right.
He'll split itself into the Holy Spirit and come down here. Then it split itself into Christ. So if Christ is up there and he said, I'm going to send the Holy Spirit back, what he do? Splitting itself in half? Or is there just like 1 John 5? There's 3 that bear record in heaven.
That's it. Well, check this out, Daniel. What about when the Most High said, "This is my beloved Son, and who I'm well pleased"? Hear him. Is he
Hear
talking to
him.
himself?
That look.
Yeah, he looking in the
Look,
mirror.
is he talking in the third person?
Right.
Son.
That'd be like Zeb mixing something. You know, that's like you in the studio with Zeb and he mixing. You see Boaz slides the knob like this and brings in the treble. Boaz you be like, shit, who? That's you, ain't it? Yeah. I just like to say my name.
Say my name.
See, Boaz finna go get us something to eat while we taking a break. Boaz asked, do you want something to drink with your chicken?
Damn, Boaz don't sit his butt down. Boaz get a dollar across his head.
Let's get some more,
I
y'all.
think I be able to stand myself.
Right. Go ahead, bro. Where we at?
Verse 3 again. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb shall be in it.
Uh-huh.
And his servants shall serve him.
Uh-huh.
And they shall see his face.
What shall they do?
See his face.
So apparently we ain't saw his face yet. If this is the end of the matter and he comes down to earth, he say, then they shall see his face. Go ahead. What else to say?
And his name shall be in their forehead.
Uh-huh.
And there shall be no night there.
See, and that's what we're talking about at the beginning, like it was in the garden. See, and their name is in his forehead. That means in your mental. So you can see God like that. Don't you know in Isaiah 6 chapter, even as Isaiah's vision, he knew he couldn't see the Lord. He said, I got a bad mouth. I've said some potty mouth things. Do you know an angel came down and put a hot coal on Isaiah's tongue so he could communicate? Burn that filth off of his tongue. Burn that filth off of his tongue. And then he was able to go up. But he acknowledged, I done said some things that may not be worthy to be in your presence. See, when you face the Father, you done got through, you done kept his commandment. He's given you your name like Abraham. Abraham's name was Abram, changed to Abraham.
That's right.
Sarah's name was Sarah, changed to Sarah. Paul's name was Saul, changed to Paul because of that supernatural intervention. And you can talk with me, you can sit around me, but you can't come around me and you believe that Christ was born in an illegal marriage ceremony? That's the Messiah y'all heard talking about? You always gonna be able to throw fault at him. Oh, he's a brother. He's a Messiah like they said now. No, he was a Messiah, but he was not the promised seed. What? Let's read some more.
A Messiah type.
A Messiah type. No, that can't make him the volume of the book then. Let's get some more of this. Where we at?
And there shall be no night there. And they need no candle, neither light of the sun. For the Elohim giveth them light.
Who give them light?
Elohim. And they shall reign forever and ever. And he said unto me, these things are faithful and true. And the Most High Yahweh of the holy prophet sent his angels to show unto his servants the thing which must shortly be done.
So y'all, we see right here, it's clear what he's saying. There'll be no night there. The sun and the moon won't even be needed. Remember, the sun and the moon weren't needed for the first 3 days of creation.
That's right.
And it said that the morning and the evening were the first day.
That's right.
And then when the sun, moon, and stars created, it said, and the morning and the evening were the fourth day. We got light for 3 days. We need some answers.
That's
around
right.
Earth.
What was that like? Because in John chapter 1, he says, John came to bear witness of that light,
what?
And he was not that light, but bear witness of that light.
Right, he said it ain't me.
That's right.
Let's get this, y'all. Let's get caught up. Daniel 7 and 9 through 14. Enoch 48, 1 through 3. That John 17, y'all gonna see truly what Christ means when he says, I'm in the image of the Father. But that's a whole chapter. Y'all put that down as homework. Put that down with Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, Psalm 44, the bywords and Proverbs. And then read John 17 all, and you'll hear the Messiah talking about the glory he had with the Father before the world was created. Right. He had glory before planet Earth. He was sitting there, that's what made Satan angry. Why he get to sit on your right hand? He was the first creation of all creation.
The first fruit.
That's right.
So he was before Satan, so he gets a higher rank than them.
Like the first fruit.
Yeah.
Of everything. It's the best of the best.
Best of the best.
That's why you offer it unto the Elohim.
That's right.
It's the best of the best. It's the first fruit.
So you see, when you say Joseph is his natural father, you're offering a blemished lamb. This lamb may have a crooked foot. It may have 6 fingers on one hand. You know, we'll say 6 fingers, anything just be a nub over here. He got 6 fingers. So y'all, we have to be careful. And you say he's born in fornication. How you gonna worship what's born in fornication? That had to be cleaned up.
Might as well worship self.
You might as well worship yourself, and that's what they end up doing.
Yeah.
But all we ask is, if you water him down, just show us the law he broke. We can forget all the other stuff. Right. All we need is guile and the law he broke. Then we'll talk about somebody else. If you ain't got nobody else in play, you kicking against the pricks. You straining at a gnat and swallowing a camel.
Right.
Let's get some more, y'all. And y'all notice why they don't come at us is because we don't have no books up here from other authors about the Bible.
Right.
This is about teaching about what's inside the Bible. Everything must fit inside Alpha and Omega, Genesis and Revelation. We can't teach outside of that. So not like that boy, what was his name too by that you say he was telling me, look, and Benham E. Carter got a book. Benham E. wrote 5 books about how he's the Messiah. And he's begging them Edomites, and he done made a deal and put his people in the army over there. And he's still in the Jamona desert. Right. He dead now. Right. And they still in the desert.
I can't remember.
Go back to the land. It didn't tell us to go back to the land and go to the desert. Right. It say if it say he's in the desert, do what? Go not forth. Yeah. If he's in a secret chamber, what was Hugh Lyon Mitchell at? He was in Leavenworth Penitentiary, wasn't it? Who know his jail cell number right now? He's in a secret chamber. He was calling from jail, trying to teach class. What is in the scripture? And I myself
in the secret chamber now
is trodden down underfoot as I spend time in Leavenworth. And he got people listening while he on the phone. And then all you hear is this. Phone check on me. Oh. Class will be dismissed currently.
Wow. Oh, you have 1 more minute left on
your call.
No,
this call originated from a correctional facility.
Wow.
Y'all, and y'all believe that's the Messiah? Mama Pearlie Mae and Daddy Hugh Lyon Senior Mitchell out of Enid, Oklahoma. It said Bethlehem, Judea, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oklahoma? Enid, Oklahoma?
A reservation.
And y'all want to believe what's outside the Bible because he's black? Let's read some more, y'all. Daniel 7, 9 through 14.
Daniel 7?
Yeah.
All right. 9 through 14.
Yes, sir.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Uh-huh.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
Who did sit?
The Ancient of Days.
So now we understand why he has that title. Because if we look at the days, we start at Genesis 1 and 1, right?
Yeah.
Day 1, it says he's ancient to that.
Yeah.
When you say somebody ancient to something, they really old, ain't they?
Before that.
Like some of you youngsters, when I tell y'all I'm the class of 79, y'all look at me like my birth certificate wrote on a rock.
Yeah.
You like, I wasn't even born in 79. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But what we're talking about, he's ancient to Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2. He's ancient to that. He's so far from that. That's why he has that title. Go ahead, bro. Huh?
So when you was a baby,
yeah,
I'm gonna give you KO syrup with the carnation milk.
Absolutely, Jeremiah. No, look, that milk was water.
Hey, but Theo, there was some stuff going on before that.
That's right.
Yes,
what was that? What were they giving them before the coronation in the honey?
I don't know.
Castor oil.
That was for health, but water with a little syrup.
I got the castor oil.
You got the castor oil? Yeah, you got castor oil.
I got castor.
I got some kind.
Look, you got 2 fingers of Vicks down your throat if you wheezing. But you wasn't wheezing in the morning.
Yeah, you had to breathe out your mouth so much.
Boy, look here. Boy, so much Vicks in there.
I had to drink some tang behind that castor oil, boy, to keep it down.
Y'all, all we talking about is the Ancient of Days. When you're saying he's so far away from day 1 that we call him ancient to that. You know, like if you say, man, you old as dirt, you're taking me back to Adam being created. Right. That's how old you tell. Man, you old as Methuselah. How old was Methuselah? So, when you're ancient of days,
before days, right?
boy, before, come on, what days were thought about. Let's get some more of this. Go ahead.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
What the Ancient of Days do?
Sit.
Uh-huh.
Whose garment was white as snow.
Uh-huh.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Now, so, does that make him a black man? He got hair like wool. Aborigines got hair like wool. We have to be careful, y'all, because wool is a sign of fatherhood and righteousness.
And wisdom
before it gets down to texture. White as snow means there's no substance
Pure.
on earth or in the heavens that's whiter than snow. There's nothing. There's not a bleach. You can get all the Clorox you want. There's nothing that will make a new 3-pack of drawers from Family Dollar whiter than snow. You can throw them down, a new pack, take them out the pack and throw them down on snow. They look like they got pea stains on them.
Somebody would him.
Nothing is compared to snow. If you look at snow and the sun shining on it, it'll blind you.
Sure will.
So this is what it's describing him of. It's like with power and light on, it's blinding. That's why everybody say, I couldn't look. It's blinding. And it's compared to the whitest source on earth and the most righteous source on earth. What we're talking about, wisdom, is wool. It's why George Washington, who say he's the father of this nation, they all wear them white wool wigs. They're saying we're the founding fathers. Then there's a side of them that like to dress up like women, but they have that wig on for, and they always have it while they're performing judgment. They're sitting around the throne. If you look up in the obelisk in there, he up in the top of that, the same thing in the Washington Monument. Go in there and say, look at George Washington in the Washington Monument. You'll see him sitting with that little loincloth on as the father of this nation with them woolly wigs on. That means we're beyond righteous. In Britain, they still do it.
They still put them on their head in Britain. Even the black ones. The black judges still wear them white wigs.
So y'all, yes, our hair has the woolly texture, but it's not to be just looked at to identify the Most High as a color. No, we're talking about righteousness because it's in an image. It's not flesh and blood. He's spirit, so how much we worship him? Spirit and truth. Not in flesh and truth, not in color and truth, but in spirit and truth, because he can manifest into anything he wants to manifest into. Let's read some more, y'all. Where we at? Y'all finished 14?
No.
Okay.
I'm still in 9.
Okay.
And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
Y'all see that, y'all? 10,000 times 10,000.
The judgment was set.
What was set?
The judgment was set. And the books were opened. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain.
Until the who was slain?
Beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night vision.
What you see?
And behold, one like the Son of Man.
One like
who? The clouds of heaven. The Son of Man. Came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days.
Who he come to?
The Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
What should they do?
Serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Is this talking about the Ancient of Days or the one who was brought to the Ancient of Days that's getting a kingdom over all nations? Y'all see what the Ancient of Days gave that to him.
Yes, sir.
And it gave him glory.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, so we're going to find out what the glory of the Lord is. And y'all, we're going to get a clear understanding because he has glory. Like the woman is the glory of the man.
That's right.
That's a woman that really represents her husband, like Proverbs 31. Her husband has no need of spoil.
Right.
He don't care that she got her own business because he knows for the household. His heart doth safely trust in her.
That's right.
What you got back there?
Could you go ahead and clear that up, who that was on being brought to the ancient days, because there's some brothers out here saying that was Judah.
Well, look, when was Judah brought up like that, cleansed and brought up to the Ancient of Days?
And riding upon the cloud.
And riding upon the cloud. Not only that, but sits at the right hand of the Father and given dominion. Who Israel been given dominion over? I'm talking about for everlasting.
Right.
If you say it's a future prophecy, the problem we still got is how it explains who the Son of Man is.
Right. And
Then you got to make Isaiah 53 Israel.
Because Genesis 49 wouldn't be of any effect there, because he says until Shiloh comes.
Right.
So when is Shiloh come then? If
Israel is that? Because them 12 tribes, ain't it?
Right.
Who's Shiloh then?
Tobias.
Yeah. It may be an ancient Tobias, but it ain't that one.
Right.
So where we at on that? Verse what?
We're done with it.
See, now you have some non-Messianics, because this is right here. They say, I have a problem getting around that. What the problem is, you're trying to get around it.
Right. That's
Because you're trying to see who we can fit. You already said Hezekiah. And he don't fit. You said King Solomon. And Solomon had a problem with women at the end.
Yeah.
And who else you got? It was Joshua. Joshua bowed to the angel of the Lord.
That's right.
Who's the captain of the host of the army of the Lord. He bowed to him, and we see you don't bow to just angels. The only time you bow to an angel is if it was Christ.
Right.
Going back to the glory he had before the world was. Micah 4 says that he was from everlasting. He gonna be born in Bethlehem, but he's from everlasting. Where is everlasting at, Elijah? It ain't in this land. It ain't in this hemisphere.
And it says
Everlasting.
He changes not.
You know why it ain't in this hemisphere? Because we got something called the last days down here, don't we?
Yes.
The end of what?
End of time.
End of time down here. Let's get this caught up, y'all. Go ahead. Where we at? Enoch 48, 1 through 3. And we're going to see again Enoch, who's before the flood, spoke before Israel was even thought of. And then give me some, right when you get out of Elijah, give me second Ezra, chapter 3.
Yeah.
And y'all, we're going to get some good understanding that, see, you can't replace Christ as hard as you try. He's the volume of the book. You're going to mention him. You're going to have to, because you don't have nobody else to put in his place.
Right.
You tried David, but David had a problem with Uriah the Hittite's wife.
You saying Ezra or Esdras?
Esdras. Yeah. Chapter 2, verse 38, start about there. But who we got right here? We got Enoch 48 first, though.
Right.
1 through 3. Enoch 48, 1 through 3. Y'all pull it up on them smartphones. And if you go chapter 46 of Enoch through 48, you're going to get better understanding of the Messiah being there before the flood. But we just going to get into 48 because it's going to match up with this Daniel 7 and 9. What it say, y'all? Enoch 48,
Okay.
1 through 3.
1 through 3. And in that place I saw the fountain of righteousness, which is inexhaustible.
Which is what?
Inexhaustible.
So it can't be extinguished. That fountain.
That's right.
It keeps flowing. Go ahead.
And around it were many fountains of wisdom. And all the thirsty drank of them, and were filled with wisdom. And their dwellings were with the righteous and holy and elect. And at that hour that Son of Man was named in the presence of the Most High Spirits.
Read that part again. Who was named?
And at that hour the Son of Man was named in the presence of the power of spirits.
See, so at that hour the Son of Man was named. You the one. In front of all those righteous saints, the Son of Man. Like I say, when you get into Ezekiel 46, Enoch 46, they short chapters, but read 46, 47, and this 48. What else you got in there, Elijah?
And his name before the head of days.
Before the who?
Head of days.
The head of days. Ain't that the same as the ancient of days? Go ahead.
Yeah, before the sun and the signs were created.
Before the what?
The sun and the signs were created.
Well, we know that can't be talking about Adam because he was created after the sun.
Yes, sir.
He was created on the sixth day. Sun and moon created on the fourth day. It says he was before that.
Right.
Who you got? Israel?
Stop it.
Israel think they black.
Stop it.
Let's read some more.
Yeah, before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of the heaven were made.
Y'all see that before what?
The stars of the heaven were made.
So now you understand, let us, who the us is. Go ahead, bro.
His name was named before the power of spirit.
Y'all see his name was named first. Before any name, just like Acts. There ain't another name on this planet. So when you think we're talking J and you say his name in Hebrew, but you believe he was born in fornication, changing the J to an H don't mean nothing, do it?
Come on.
Because you don't understand what it's saying. His name is the Word of God.
Right.
His name is the law, statutes, and judgment. His name, the law, is before the alphabet.
Right.
When you get into Psalms 119, the longest chapter in the Bible, it's the alphabet.
Let me read down to 6.
Go ahead, bro. Which they says, please do, bro. Go ahead.
He shall be a staff to the righteous, whereon to stay themselves, fall, and not fall. And he shall be the light of the Gentiles.
What shall he be?
The light of the Gentiles. And the hope of those who are troubled of heart. Broken heart and contrite spirit.
Yeah.
All who dwell on earth shall fall down and worship him. And will praise and bless and celebrate with the song of the power of spirits. And for this reason hath he been chosen and hidden before him. Before the creation of the world.
Before what, license?
The creation of the world and forevermore.
Y'all see that? This is what we're talking about, y'all. When you're talking about Messiah, he just didn't show up in Bethlehem.
Right.
He showed up. He was there before Satan pulled what he pulled. The war in heaven. He told Michael, man, get rid of him. How do you think he see him fall like lightning? He said, I watched Satan fall like lightning. Mike hit him with an uppercut and an overhand right. And then when you look in the book of Jude, he say the same thing when he come to get Moses' body. He's like, Satan ain't got time for this, man. Get out of the way. It said he didn't have to do no railing accusation.
No, right.
He didn't have to remind him of that jaw-breaking blow.
He said, well, you know how these hands are.
You know how they are. And when you know how they are, that means you flinching before he even do something. He just go to scratch his head and you flinch. Oh, you know how the hands is. You're like, man, I'm just scratching my head. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought you was going
That's when you know you doing something you ain't got no business doing.
Absolutely, bro. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at on that lights? You through with that?
Yes, sir.
Y'all, we're going to hold on to John 17. All y'all read that because that's going to get into detail you wouldn't believe. But hit that 2nd Ezra chapter 2. Start about 38 lights and read down so we can see if it match up with Revelations. When they talk about the Messiah.
Ariel, that you?
Yeah, you say 2nd Ezra?
Yeah,
chapter 2 or 3?
Chapter 2, is it 238?
Yeah, you talking about his rest? Or
Yeah,
what?
238, 2nd Ezra 238. Let me get that.
234.
Yeah. It started 34 lights?
You can start before the end though, bro.
I just want to get right to the part when they start asking, who is this?
Oh no, you talking about him exalted and putting the crowns on their head.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's 43.
2 and 43?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
42 and verse 42 and 43.
Man, I'm hostage.
Go down to 45.
Gonna keep going back. And you're gonna go back to 38.
38 to 48.
38.
38 to 48.
I tell you what,
That's what's highlighted in my book.
let's start at 26.
Well, mine's is highlighted from 1.
Yeah, but let's start at 26, y'all. We'll start at 26. Y'all go back to 1. But we're going to start at 26 because it's very important that we start. 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 28.
26? Did you say 20?
26, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
And you got
Pull
your
these glasses
on.
off. I
You
put them
got
on
them
for
on.
just a second like this.
I thought they were still on when you said
Yes, now, y'all talked about when I graduated.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha. Chapter 2. Start the reading in verse 26.
What it say?
It reads, As for the servants whom I have given thee.
Where you at?
26.
Second Esdras,
Hold on.
chapter 2, verse 26. Where you
Yeah,
at?
yeah, you're right. I'm in the wrong place. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. See that? Yeah, I was in 7. Go ahead.
All
Well,
right.
maybe we won't. Don't go back to 26 then.
What?
Because
you
that's
was
too
reading the
far,
wrong
'cause
one.
I was in the wrong one. Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead. Start at 33. Yes, sir.
The book of Second Esdras, chapter 2 and verse 33.
That's what I want. Yeah.
I, Esdras, received a charge of the Most High upon the Mount Oreb,
Uh-huh.
that I should go unto Israel.
Uh-huh.
But when I came unto them, they set me at naught, and despised the commandments of the Most High. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd.
Uh-huh.
He shall give you everlasting rest.
What he gonna give you?
Everlasting rest.
Ain't that Hebrews 4, y'all? Ain't that what the Messiah's gonna do? Give us everlasting rest, right? Go ahead.
For he is nigh at hand,
Uh-huh.
that shall come in the end of the world.
When he coming?
At the end of the world.
Uh-huh.
Be ready.
Be what?
Be ready to the reward of the kingdom. For the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore.
Uh-huh.
Flee the shadow of this world.
What you gotta do?
Flee the shadow of this world.
Uh-huh.
Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly. Oh, receive the gift that is given you, and be glad, giving thanks unto him that hath called you to the heavenly kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Arise up and stand. Behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord.
See, those that be sealed, what is the feast of the Lord? That's the Feast of Tabernacles. That's where you got to be sealed. Behold them. Let's keep reading.
Verse 39.
Yeah.
Which are departed from the shadow of the world,
Uh-huh.
and have received glorious garments of the Most High.
Yo, see how it keep matching up that when you escape the shadow of this world, you get white garments, purified garments. Go ahead.
Verse 40.
Yeah.
Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white.
What are they clothed in?
Clothed in white,
Uh-huh.
which have fulfilled the law of the Most High.
See, what have they fulfilled?
The law of the Most High.
That's when you get a white robe. Go ahead.
Verse 41.
Uh-huh.
The number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Most High, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed.
Uh-huh.
I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Most High with song.
Uh-huh.
And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature,
Right.
taller than all the rest.
Right.
And upon every one of their heads he set crowns,
He set crowns. Go ahead.
and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
See, he was more exalted than all the rest of the saints because he put crowns on their head. Let's see who this was. Go
Verse
ahead.
44.
Yeah.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these?
Uh-huh.
He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal,
Uh-huh.
and have confessed the name of Yah. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
Uh-huh.
Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them,
Uh-huh.
and giveth them palms in their hand?
Uh-huh.
So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yah.
Who is it?
It's the Son of Yah,
Go ahead.
whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Most High thy Elohim thou hast seen.
So, and you'll see the same exact thing in Revelation 6 and 9. Go ahead, Push.
That's the same people in that Ezekiel, right? Arm me a strong bone.
Well, Ezekiel, can these bones live? But no, they're not before the throne. These are people that's been already given a new name. This is Revelation 6 and 9.
Okay.
So we see it matches up exactly with a lot of people from other nations, kindreds, and tongues. They're separate from the 144,000.
Okay.
There's other groups of people that he say I couldn't even number them, and the Most High is putting crowns on their head. But wherever we look, you get white robes and a palm in your hand. That's the sign of peace.
Right.
And then you're put back to sleep. That's Revelation 6 and 9. They say, who are these under the altar? And then they say, how long, Lord, before you judge the earth for what they done to us? He said, I'm going to get them, but there must be a second martyrdom. It's going to have to be another group killed like y'all were. And it says white robes and palms were given to them, and they were put back to sleep. So ain't nobody just walking around up there. They're in Abraham's bosom getting the best sleep of their life. I'm talking about that like this. Lord have mercy, that was, I enjoyed that rest.
Do you think that when they wake up, like, man, that wasn't long enough? I want to
Look, it's going to be like a coma.
That's your coma mind.
See, that's your mind. They going to wake up like it's the next day.
Right.
Like if you ever talk to anybody that's been in a coma, you know you have to show them a newspaper because they won't believe how long they've been asleep. Because it's like this when they wake right back up. That's the way Judgment Day is. You think a cowboy is going to say, man, I thought I was going to have to sleep forever. No, it's going to be like that. When he lay down, he going to be looking for cowboys, and he going to see people in different other clothing. And he got the hope that he's got on white. Because all of it say it's judgment. And if Christ passing out crowns, you good. You locked and loaded. So this is what we talking about. This is Ezra writing this about Christ in the life coming up that into everlasting. See, y'all, we ain't talking about this flesh life. You got all these groups out here talking this flesh life. That's why they talk about black. They're not talking about the inside. What color is the soul? That's what we need to get down to. What color is the soul? The soul should be colored righteousness. That's what color it is. If it ain't that color, you wasting your time. Your flesh can't get it done.
Right.
Your flesh is marked for corruption.
Yes, sir.
Your footer turned green.
Is that what this body is on my
Boy, look here. This flesh got ear stank. You dig behind your ear right now where the women put their ear in. Dig right there and smell.
Or that navel stank.
That's ear stank.
Which one first?
Dying flesh stinks. It say where the worm dieth not in the lake of fire. But ain't no worms on immortality. There's nothing to eat on that's dead.
Right.
Where we at, y'all?
You wanted to go to Ezekiel next?
Yes, sir. So what we did is we showed his omnipotence, the Most High, that he's always sitting on his throne. Now we're going to get Yeshua, and we're going to tie in where you think Exodus, where Moses said, let me see your glory. Once again, we're going to find out who his glory is. Woman is glory of the man. Man is glory of the Messiah. The Messiah is glory of the Father. It passes down what represents you. What takes the place of you if something happened, or as a representative of you. Because we all one flesh. That's why they can't make a woman testify against her husband. You know how they do it? Show her some photos of him smiling in the hot sheet joint. Mm-hmm. Here he is with Bertha May. He's smiling and he's sitting like this. Yeah, you know, and I'm going to put your kids through college, you know. And he told her he was going to Bible study. And when she see that, then she'll testify that, look at that black bastard.
Uh-oh.
He put the money upstairs.
Yeah, the money up there, all the dope in the bathroom. Behind, pull that thing off the tank, ain't no water in there, dope in there. Black mother, let me see that picture again.
He got it in the barbecue pit out on the balcony.
Watch out, man. Tell me it all.
What we at? Y'all didn't know personally, then go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Wait a minute, where we going, man?
We going.
That boy threw me for
Threw it for you, Luke, didn't it? Let's talk about Yeshua in his glory, and we're going to see the glory of Yah beforehand. So I tell you what, so we get to understand it, because the Muslims like to use this to say the Father don't need nobody. Let's hit that Isaiah 42, 1 through 8. They gonna jump to verse 8 on you. But everywhere all through Enoch, we keep seeing the elect of the Lord. Israel is the elect people. But we have an intercessor. Isaiah 53 uses we and thee, and he shall. And there's two different groups of people. How Israel in the state we in gonna heal sins of Israel? And we waddling in sin.
Right.
We still cast away.
With treacherous Judah.
Boy, look here. Treacherous Judah. Shalom, butterfly. How you doing? Let's get it, y'all.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42. Start the reading in verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there? I'll speed this and page.
And y'all remember this, like I say, Muslim, and y'all, what we're doing is, this is not a black color thing, or we're trying to denounce what Kanye and Kyrie did, y'all. We just want them to be correct when it comes down to color. Don't let them keep labeling you black Hebrew Israelites. I'm from the nation of Israel, from the tribe of Judah, or whatever tribe you from. Lay your origin out, and then that traces you back to a race, not a color.
Right.
We're not at them about what they said. What we're talking about is they couldn't defend what they were telling these Edomites.
Color is debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable. If you hit your thumb with a hammer, what color is going to turn if you white?
Red.
And what color the thumbnail going to be when you finally peel it off?
Purple,
Black.
Yeah.
It's gonna go through the rainbow.
Yeah.
And they call us colored.
Boy.
That's like saying if you a black nigga or a white nigga.
Yeah.
Don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense, y'all. We're going to get to everywhere those words and colors are. They're going to always be compared to something, so you know what the individual look like. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 1.
What it say?
Behold my servant, whom uphold mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
This already gets Israel, the nation, out of the way. Go ahead.
He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench.
Right.
He shall bring forth judgment unto truth.
What he gonna bring forth?
Judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in the earth. And the isles shall wait for his law.
For whose laws?
His law. Thus saith Yah the Elohim, he that created the heavens and stretched them out. He that spread forth the earth.
Right.
And that which cometh out of it. He that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, the Most High, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people.
What people? Israel, go ahead.
For a light of the Gentiles. To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am the Most High.
Right.
That is my name.
Right.
And my glory will I not give to another. Neither my praise to graven images.
So let's get this understood. What he's saying, I'm not going to give my glory to another. It ain't going to Benjamin Carter.
Right.
It ain't going to David Koresh.
No.
It ain't going to Hulan Mitchell. It's for damn sure ain't going to none of these new booties around here.
Right.
Hollering they third in command in heaven. It ain't going to none of them. He said, my glory goes to verse 1. That's who gets his glory. I'm not going to give it to nobody else. Everything we just read, he's sitting at the right hand of the Father. That's who my glory is. That's who I send to earth as a representative of me. Because he's been around with me before the earth was created. Who's the most best representative? Why you going to send Israel and Israel think they a color?
Right. And notice he say, neither my praise
to graven image. So now we keeping it in line. I'm not going to even, you can't give my glory to a picture.
Right.
To a statue of me. No, my representative is my son. My only begotten son, who's going to show Israel their way. And he's going to be a light unto the Gentiles.
Right.
To open blind eyes.
To open blind eyes.
Not entertain Israel.
Not entertain Israel with colors. How you going to open the eyes of the black?
Right. You gonna open some black eyes?
Yeah, boy, look here.
How'd you get them black
Black eyes, yeah. Talking too much.
There you go.
Talking that twisted mouth talk.
Yeah.
And look, Dan, the glory that the Messiah do have, he said in the Lord's prayer, he said, "Our Father." Right?
That's right.
And at the end of the prayer, he said, "For yours is what? The kingdom, the power, and the what?
And the
glory."
See, and that's what we just read in Daniel. He said, I'm going to give him dominion and kingdom and power and glory. I'm going to give him that because he's worthy of it. And every knee shall bow. If an angel don't let him bow to you, ain't no nations bowing to us. They're subject to us, but the only bowing nations have to do to us is like when we go in the courtroom, the judge come in, that honor.
Right.
So when we come in, they honor us, but they don't drop to their knees because Cornelius did drop to his knees, and Peter told him, you got to get up. You can't bow to me. That's against the rule. If I do that, we're going to get problems up in here. You already anointed by the Most High. He just wants you to come through Israel. So I'm the one that makes the connection to the Gentiles now receiving the word.
Right.
So now we can go tell the rest of Israel, you know, the Holy Spirit that fell on them Gentiles too.
Because he kept it in natural order.
He kept it in natural order, didn't he, like? He didn't go outside of the ranks, and that's why it says verse 28, of Acts 10. Verse 28, 11. The Father has shown me not to call any man common or unclean anymore. Because anybody can get the word of the Lord. They still got to come through Israel. And when we talk about come through Israel, what we're talking through is acknowledge who the offspring is. And then because somebody corrects you that may be of another nation when you falling in a hole, that don't mean they teaching you. Would you want somebody to tell you sinning?
Then just help Moses.
Didn't he help Moses?
Gave him good advice that wouldn't stress him out.
But Moses couldn't trust him because he gave him bad advice about Gershon.
Yeah, about Gershon.
Told him don't circumcise.
But he told him how to put people in charge.
You gonna get wore out.
All them deeds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he had good advice.
That was their wisdom right there.
Yeah, and then he had father-in-law advice, meaning, I know what God told you, but leave the boy here with me.
Right.
And the Lord sent an angel to kill Moses. Yeah. He's like, how you going to go to Pharaoh and you disobedient to me? You going to go tell him to get in line and you disobedient. That's like us now trying to get them Khazars in line telling them we black. Well, the Jews are black. Where you reading that at? That's what they asked him. Where you reading that at? Where did you read that? I can't be anti-Semitic because I know where I come from. Where do you come from?
Right.
That's what the whole world is waiting to hear.
Right. They want to. Where's the text?
What the text said? What's going to make Satan flee? Now you caught up in tropes. They didn't quote one scripture that the brother had in the movie. They quoted outside books, y'all. That's why we can't deal with outside books. Because they're going to label us. We don't have no signs up for nobody else's book. We got scriptures up.
That's right.
So if you're going to say this is anti-Semitic, and this have hate speech in it, then you go right ahead because the power of this nation say that it's the official word of God. Now y'all got to deal with the Supreme Court, not us. But if we come down here and start promoting somebody's book, and then this is the brother, he's a good brother, Sarawao, the Hebrew such and such, and he wrote this. Actually, when he was 13, he has a whole series of this.
And he quoting scriptures throughout the whole book.
The whole Bible, he just plagiarized. Y'all, it's sickening that we chase color. But we gonna get into this, y'all, while we got good time yet. We got about 45 minutes. Let's roll, y'all. Where we at?
That's it on that.
On that Isaiah. So we see that. Let's now get Ezekiel 128. And now we're going to get into some color, y'all. We're going to see everywhere the Bible uses color, it compares it to something so you don't get it misunderstood. It wants you to see what color is related to. But people will never be related to people as color. Mm-hmm. And he was a white man, like Esau. Where you going to see that at? And he was a black man, like Jacob.
Esau was red and hairy.
That's what it say. Right. It didn't say white, did it? No. We're going to get into Songs of Solomon 5 where it says Solomon, my beloved, is white and ruddy. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh, not Solomon, white. If you want to play the white game, they'll wear you out with color in this Bible. Because white is a sign of pureness. And they're not white.
At all.
And they're not pure.
And we're not black. Mm-hmm. You're dark-skinned people. You have people that's almost in the shade of black. But there ain't no such thing as a nation of black people. And they will never call themselves the white nation.
Right.
They'll say we're the race of the Jews. And everybody keep telling you offended the race of the Jews. They keep saying race, not color, do they? No. And what they turn around, but see you black Hebrew Israelite. That's what he said in the movie. That's who we are. That's what you standing on, coming up against the mighty men of Teman. You get all your shekels took.
They proved that.
Let's get some more.
Because now they say you just talking rhetoric.
You just talking rhetoric. You ain't got a clue what these scripts say. You just found this out, and you're pushing somebody else's work out there. Y'all go look at this movie. All he had to do was say, there's some things in there that's not true.
Right.
There's some things that the Holocaust don't exist in that book. That's not the truth because there's something called the Rhineland Bastards. Mm-hmm. They were Hebrew men that had offspring with German white women, and Hitler put them in the Holocaust too, and they were slaughtered with the so-called white Jews, so to speak. The Rhineland Bastards. Google it now on the smartphone. And you'll see they got pictures of them. They in the concentration camp. 20 to 25,000 of them were put to death. So when it say, I'm just saying the blacks are Jews too, so I can't be anti-Semitic. Well, tell them from that perspective, and then they'll understand what you mean. They ain't gonna do no homework off no documentary. And they sitting on the book of Isaiah in Hebrew Museum in Tel Aviv. Right. They got scrolls 2,000 years they sitting on. And you talking about some Negro born in the 50s. You promoting his book out there like his word is bond.
Right.
Are you crazy? Don't you know in that museum they have the book of Isaiah completely?
Yeah, intact.
Right.
And it says nothing different than this Isaiah say. Y'all, we got to be careful on them game playing and talking about, well, if somebody of another nation tell you to be right, if they tell you, look, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, got up, went to the radio station early, hungry as hell. Stop before I get up here to the garden. We working on the garden. I'm eating a chicken sandwich, bread this thick, and I'm into the second day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Mm-hmm. I'm biting on that boy like it's the last bread on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. My brother with a wife that's a Gentile, she just did me like this. She said, Daniel, And I say, I said, what, your guts hurting up? What's happening? She said,
But just think of how many of us spoke to him before she said something.
Nobody. Not one Israelite.
Dapped
Dapped me up, and I took a bite and dapped him up.
That show looked good. And then went back to gardening.
And then you think they can't tell you you're in error with your God. You ain't supposed to tell me nothing. You don't get a law to Israel, even if I'm in error.
So you supposed to keep eating the chicken sandwich.
And I said, sister, thank you. Thank you. And I want to do like this and throw it back. It's too late.
Right.
I got 6 days of unleavened bread now, not 7. Because I wasn't paying attention. Hunger altered my view. And out of all the Israelites up there sitting, the sister looked at me and she said,
There was a good 10, 15 of us up there. At least.
Got us more concerned with who's right instead of what's right.
Instead of what's right.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm talking about Hebrews' hand like this, like I'm a tear off a sandwich, like we used to give you some fried rice on a piece of the bag.
You just scooped it in your hand.
Yeah, right. Give me some of that. Give me some of that. Oh, you want some of this?
Come out dips?
Yeah. You want some of this leavened bread, do you?
After she brought it out, that's what I said. Oh,
That's why it looks so good.
That's why it looked so good.
The devil that quick.
Probably was going to try to get me to go get one.
Boy, look here. The way it was looking, a few people wanted to bite off into that sandwich. And look, when we pulled in line, I knew what I was going to get, just something without that. And then, you know what got me? Well, you can get 2 for the price of 1 of these chicken sandwiches here. I say 2 for the price of 1. The devil say, look at it, we got it. See, full of them monster crackers. Now look at it. Look at this Negro here. Finna do some gardening. Yo, we don't take ourselves serious.
Right. That's right.
Let's get some more of this, y'all. Where we at? Ezekiel 1, 28. Who got it? Y'all, 1 and 1, y'all. It even talks about who's driving the chariots of the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, and it tells you their description is color of brass and bronze.
Right.
But it always compares it to something so you can understand, oh, that's the color it was. Let's read some more. But every time we read black, it's gonna be a condition we're gonna be in, y'all. And y'all gonna understand we can't get caught into them Muslim things. Like you will see a Muslim. What you see right here, brother? I see a book. What colors are the pages on that book? They white. And what color are the words on that page? They black. So you see those white pages don't have no power until those black words are on. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Black words!
Well, that was deep.
Yeah.
That brother deep.
Well, that's what they did. Look, and I saw it on Martin when the brother was in jail. He was like, these black pages on the black. He like, okay, bro, that's wise. But it's jailhouse doctrine.
So now what that
Every
mean?
time they promote it,
Because his black page is white.
Look, now that's black. That's a black page with white words on it now. But look, so what do we do about the red words then? Right there, them red words. That must be Esau then. See, that's why we can't read the New Testament. Because Jesus' words in red, and red is tied to Esau. See, red and white.
And stupid tied to stupid.
Boy, look here. What you say, Liza? Stuck on stupid and glued to dumb.
Yes, sir.
Let's get some more of this, y'all. Y'all read 1 through 28. It's talking about who's driving the chariots of the Most High. Okay. Where you want? We can start at 26, sir.
All right, family, we're going to be reading.
Yes, sir. That's outstanding. Yeah.
In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1. Start the reading in
Let's
verse
start in 24, if you will. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
It reads, No, that's too far away. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings. Like the noise of great water.
Like the noise of what?
Of great water. As the voice of the Almighty.
You see how the Most High's voice is always compared to the power of his creation when it's in strong power, like the force of a hurricane. That's like his voice, that power and that destruction, like thunder. I'm talking about that one where you won't quit playing dominoes and they're sprinkling. Oh, we'll be okay out here, dog. Play the big six if you got. And then all of a sudden you're boom, 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 boom. How do you understand that English mean? Time to go. Go ahead, what you got?
Scripture say the Most High showed his wrath in the whirlwind.
That's what it say his wrath is in. So y'all, when we see this, we know this power, y'all. This ain't no what you call them pools that you can swim in and you don't go nowhere. They put in your backyard. Yeah. No, ain't none of that. We're talking about power. Go ahead.
Moving power.
The voice of speech. As the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads.
Was over where?
Over their heads.
See, it's above them. Go ahead.
When they stood and had let down their wings. And above the firmament.
You see how we keep talking about above the firmament? Go ahead.
That was over their heads was the likeness of a throne. As the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it.
Above upon it, the likeness of a man. And see, did we saw sapphires, did it say anything? And the sapphires should be worshipped. No. But see, some will take that. There's sapphires right there. And see, you need to have that item when you're doing your esoterical work. See, it's in the heavens. Sapphire. It just compared something so righteous gem to it that is surrounded by righteous gems. You know, that you would die for, so to speak, or that you pay heavy money for to get a sapphire ring.
But it's also to just give a vision to the earthly being of what it's compared to, or what this vision might reflect upon.
Sapphire, priceless stones.
Like something that you will be familiar with.
Absolutely, sapphire.
And it said appearance of sapphire.
That's what it said, not sapphire.
It didn't say it was it. It said it looked like one.
Let's get some more.
Let's see.
27.
Yeah, I'm in it. And from the appearance, let me start 27.
Okay.
And I saw as the color of amber.
Yeah, you just getting into 27. You was in 26. So I saw the color of what?
Of amber.
Let's get the color of amber. Anybody Google it real quick.
Is a reddish brown.
Translucent, reddish brown, mahogany.
I use it in my everyday paint.
Yes, sir. Amber. See how it compares it to a substance. Go ahead. What else to say? Read that again, Zell.
I'm Ariel.
Ariel, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Look, I'm getting them mixed up. Look. When you are getting on up, you just call a name till you get the right one. Zeb, Ariel, boy, come here. Yeah, so go ahead.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
And I saw as the color of amber. As the appearance of fire round about within it. From the appearance of his loins.
From his where?
Of his loins.
These thigh regions, the loins. Go ahead.
Even upward.
Even upward.
And from the appearance of his loins, even downward.
Even downward, he was the color of what, Elisha? Amber. Reddish brown. Go ahead.
I saw as it were the appearance of fire. And it had brightness round about.
Right.
As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud of the day.
See, it was even like the rainbow, y'all. It was so glorious to say like the bow that's in the cloud. This goes back to Genesis 9th chapter. The rainbow was around the throne. Satan is pride. That's why they takes God's rainbow and connect it with pride, who's tied to Lucifer, and they take what's around the throne and bring it down to homosexuality and fornication, and they say this is our flag. And we're full of pride, like Ezekiel 12 tell us about Lucifer. He's full of pride. And you got the rainbow flag with you. Now we scared to talk about the throne of God because they got the flag. Scared it's going to tie us to them. Did you just say something about a rainbow? I thought you was a black Israelite.
You want to taste the rainbow?
Look here, boy. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Boy, you quick wit today. You must got that bed early last night. Let's get some more.
I did.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Most High.
Of the glory of the Most High. And y'all, this is what we're going to keep pounding. What is Yah's glory? And who is Yah's glory? See, but we're going to let it be, we're going to let it spell itself out. Go ahead, what else it say?
And when I saw it, I fell upon my face. And I heard a voice of one that spake.
So when you get into chapter 2 and you keep rolling, you're going to see who that could be. But y'all, we have to understand clearly this was Ezekiel looking up and he saw the Messiah there. So all of the vision Enoch saw him before the flood. Y'all, and we see how his loins was compared to what? Amber. Did it say his loins was compared to black?
No.
And I saw as the color of him from the loins up to the loins down, the color of black. Did we see that? Let's read where we at now.
Where you want to go?
Let's get to Matthew 17. And then we're going to go John 1:6. And we just going to see why Christ is the glory of Yah. Because we got 1 Corinthians 11, y'all. It starts off, the Father is the head of Christ. That's his glory. The man Christ is head of the man. The man is Christ's glory. And the man is head of the woman. She's his glory. If your glory is wicked all the time, you got to find some more glory, don't you? Why you keep going through the bad glory store? You got 15 marriages and 14 divorces.
Maybe it ain't them.
That ain't glory.
Maybe it ain't them.
Something's wrong with your glory and you shopping at the wrong glory store. You keep going in that store. Why? They got a discount.
Maybe that's part of the problem right there. You cheap. Pay full price and get something worth having.
Man, the bad glory store got 3 for 1, dog. 3 for 1, dog, at the bad glory store.
What glory?
And every day you say women are the most wickedest people on planet Earth, but you can't stop marrying them. How do you have 15 marriages with the most wicked thing on earth? How do you keep doing it? We're not talking about that. We'll get to the wicked part you're talking about. The problem is, why do you have 15 of them and you're not with neither one of them? Because they wicked, dog. So do you keep going back. What do they call when you keep doing something and you get the same result? Insanity.
Why you keep doing that? That's like this video I saw of this one brother. I ain't saying no names, but I think some people know what I'm talking about.
They do.
But when he came in, he flashed himself and then went sat down and had his wives parade across. I said, this is this is crazy. What is this?
Look, y'all, this go back to in the 90s.
You advertising error.
Look, well, what you're talking about is you're talking about going back. We had a brother, look, he called himself was going to be one of the 2 witnesses, told us the secret place in the wilderness was out by 6 Flags. He marched in with women marching behind him at the Passover we had down there at Ellie's Creek. We like, look at this clown show.
And that's the one we got the video of him trying to tell his wife, one of his wives, to call him rabbi.
Yeah.
And she like, I ain't gonna call you no doggone rabbi. He was like, you gotta call me rabbi.
She loved the Most High more than you.
Boy, look here, y'all. See, so these things y'all experiencing now, we've been dealing with this life for how long? 30 years?
30 years.
Of new ones coming and going. It ain't exciting to us. Y'all just now seeing Kyrie and and Kanye speak about this, but we saw Whitney Houston them over there. We saw Stevie Wonder over there. We saw Robert Rozier over there worshiping Hulan Mitchell, and he was cutting off white folks' ears. A football cardinal.
Lauren Hill said they said she's crazy.
Look here. One West had the boxer Jermaine Taylor. The one went 12 rounds with Julio Cesar Chavez, and they had another boxer up there. What the hell does that mean to us when you telling him he's third in command? He need to use them boxing skills on your ass. Box your ears off for that idolatry and
see the rainbow.
Boy, look here. Go ahead. Where we at? Let's get this, y'all. Let's get caught up. Matthew 17. And we're going to talk about this glory and see, is the Father always there, or is he talking from up above the firmament when he talks about Messiah? Because the Messiah say, ain't nobody been up there but he that came down. The Son of Man. Ain't nobody else been to the right hand of the Father. Let's get it. 17 and... Where we at, right? We getting to the... When he transfigured. Yeah, 17 and 1. Y'all, we're talking about he's doing exactly what Moses did, and the glory that came over him, because Christ is the head of man. Moses is Christ's glory. Christ said Messiah was coming. He didn't say the Father. He said the Messiah's coming. I'm his glory. I'm representing him till he get here.
Just like John.
Just like John.
But he said when he get here, that's the order of Melchizedek. You got to change your.
You got to switch it over.
Right. Your mindset has to change when he come on the scene.
You can't keep doing and hoping you don't get caught.
So what were they switching to? From and to?
Flesh to spirit. Flesh to spirit. Sinner to non-sinner.
I got a trunk full of turtle doves, dog. We going out tonight.
That's what you can do under Aaron still. That's why them road group took their members to the strip club on the Passover.
Right.
Y'all ain't seen that video?
Passover in the strip club.
And look, didn't pass him out nothing that make it rain. They didn't even pass him out drizzle money. They gave him a roll of quarters apiece. Now, what you think who gonna dance for a quarter?
You gonna hurt somebody's dog.
And the sister's still in there naked as a jaybird.
Jaybird.
And they up in there with their fringes
With their fringes on.
Grinning, smiling.
Even with my fringes on. I'm a mess.
When they outside the same strip club a few months earlier, bashing them for doing the work that they were doing, and they end up in the same spot.
Talking about he going in to convert sinners.
Look, we had a boy around here.
The dude from the camp,
we had a boy around here used to visit regularly, and he gonna call himself weaning himself, so he go up in there with his scripture.
He going to strip club
with his scripture. With the Bible. Now he's on some other crazy doctrine, but he up in there like this. Delicious, you can't touch me now.
I'm in the spirit.
I mean, if you don't go to the DJ and tell him to stop that hoochie music, you need to put on some Lorvins up in here.
But the thing
they still gonna be dancing with no clothes on, the Lorvins, ain't they?
Yeah, but the thing is, he would leave class on Sabbath and go and invite his little group of little homies to go over to the strip club and drink all you can drink.
And you sitting at the front like that.
At a strip club. And he used to advertise it on social media.
Yeah. You got to go where the sinners at.
He's leaving Sabbath class.
Yeah.
Now he's posting advertisement to go drink at the strip club. Go hang out with him.
Y'all, this is what we're talking about. You think because you go up in there with this gonna stop you from fornicating? It's like having on a cross or something, or like I got this on. I wish the devil would.
He coming for you just because you said that.
Mr. made this. I wish the devil would.
Mr. made this.
He coming up against craftsmanship. Great craftsmanship.
Papa.
Look here. Look, all the chain. But this is all I'm saying is when you trust in something that it has its meaning.
Right. That's
But you
idolatry.
have to be greater than this.
Idolatry comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
Let's get some more, y'all. Where we at? 17 and 1.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And after 6 days, Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up unto an high mountain apart.
Uh-huh.
And was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light.
Uh-huh.
And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias, talking with them.
Uh-huh.
With him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be here.
Uh-huh.
If thou wilt let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah.
So Peter asking, look, that's Moses and Elijah. And then you got these groups that teach John the Baptist didn't know he was Elijah. Peter wouldn't have said that's Elijah because he knew John the Baptist in the flesh. He grew up with John the Baptist. He wouldn't have said that, and then how he know this Elijah and Moses, and they lived 3,000 years before he did. See, that's supernatural power. This was the resurrection. But the Father had to come in because we were marked places with pillars. But you're equaling Moses, which is the top prophet and lawgiver at the time, so to speak, and Elijah, the top prophet. No, you see the top king, priest, and prophet. He's the one transfigured in front of y'all. He resurrected them and told them to come up here and talk to me. Right. They bowed to me.
And so what he was showing that he was greater than the prophets and the law. He is all of them in one.
That's right.
So
greater than
the
corn.
head prophet and the head lawgiver, earthly lawgiver, came to bow to him to show his power, his authority.
Yes, sir.
And the order of things, the natural order of things, because he's above the firmament. He is all in all.
Read some more of that.
I am that I am.
That's right.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them.
Uh-huh.
And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved son.
See, so now we got the Father interjecting.
Yes, sir.
From above again, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
Speaking down, look, right. Peter. Let's read some more.
This is my beloved son.
Who he say he was?
My beloved son.
Now, if those were all Israelites, he should say my beloved sons.
Right.
It's about Israel, ain't it? Let's read some more.
In whom I am well pleased.
Uh-huh.
Hear ye him.
Or hear ye them, the 12 tribes. What it say?
Hear ye him.
Uh-huh.
And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were sore afraid.
See, because the power came from over. The Father didn't come down. No. Christ is just in his glory. He in the image of the Father. The Father is showing you who gonna take control of Judgment Day and planet Earth.
That's right.
Who's been promised to. No, y'all hear him.
Same as what Moses said in
Deuteronomy 18, didn't he? He said he coming. Right. He ain't coming from Ishmael.
No.
He ain't coming from Esau.
No.
He ain't coming from the seed of Japheth.
No.
What else to say there? Go down to 9.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
And Yahushua came and touched them and said, Arise and be not afraid.
Uh-huh.
And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man save Yahushua only.
Uh-huh.
And as they came down from the mountain, Yahushua charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead.
See, because no man is going to believe you ain't saw no Moses and Elijah.
Right. You've been drinking wine.
You've been drinking wine. It's like them boys on that Coming to America in the barbershop. You don't know no Martin Luther the King. They're saying the same thing. That's what they would have been saying. So that's why he told, tell no vision until I'm resurrected. Then they will believe you, because if I resurrect myself, they'll have no choice believing that was Elijah and Moses. Y'all understand what it's saying here? It's saying one issue gonna solve the other one.
That's right.
Let's get right to it, y'all. We got to get caught up. Let's get right to where we at. John 1, 6 through 14. We may not go all verses. Let's just see where we at. But we need to talk about that glory. When you read Micah 4, you'll understand his glory. See, they keep putting Christ in Bethlehem to a whorish mama. Y'all have to understand these are Israelites that's doing this and teaching this. So when you teach that, you're teaching that it's a blemished lamb for the wise who understand that they know not to believe that. Mm-hmm. And look, the angel came to Joseph not about it's okay. The conversation between Joseph and the angel was about the conception. Right. Conception means to make pregnant. Right. If Joseph knew he did that hip swiveling, it wouldn't have been no angel sent to him. No. Because he would be lying to the power of the Most High.
And why would he be confused about what he did?
What he did. Right. And then she hadn't touched no man. He know if he didn't, because when he came in, he started saying, woman, no.
Why would he want to put her away privately?
Y'all get it.
If that's his wife and he laid down with his wife. So what's the secrecy about that?
Craziness, Elisha. If you chase words versus the law and the order of righteousness, what can be unclean be made clean? You can't make Adam offspring clean unless something interrupts that and forces cleanliness to jumpstart it to roll again. Let's get some more. Where we at?
We're doing
John chapter 1, verse 6 through 14. Let's get it. Got about a half hour, y'all.
John chapter 1, verse 6.
Yeah.
There was a man sent from Yahweh, whose name was John.
Right.
The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light.
Of the what?
Of the light. That all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light.
Right.
That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world.
Every man that cometh into the world. Yeah. Go ahead.
He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
What was the world made?
Was made by him.
This ain't talking about Israel. We ain't made no world. Go ahead.
And the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Yahweh. Even to them that believe on his name.
Right.
The Gentiles.
Which was born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh.
See, so now that clears up when they try to run you to Hebrews 2:15. This explains Hebrews 7:16. He was made after an everlasting law, not after Hebrews 2:15. That's how me and you was made, and we could have made in the back seat at the movie theater, at the drive-in. Could have been made in a locker room. See, and they say he was made. He was made in a roll in the hay with Mary. You understand what we saying? No, he couldn't have the glory of the Father with taint on him. Let's get some more. Verse 12.
I wasn't on 13.
You on 13?
On 13.
Yeah.
Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yahweh. And the Word was made flesh.
What was the Word?
Was made flesh. And dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory.
What we beheld?
His glory. The glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
So this say, John said the record, he's the glory of the Father. So now let's get into some Exodus 33 and see, Could
you read 15?
Go ahead, we read 15.
Let's go down to 18.
Okay.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
John bare witness of him and cried, saying, This is he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me.
He was what?
He was before me.
John was 6 months older than Messiah in the flesh.
That's right.
Because Elizabeth was 6 months pregnant
That's
when
right.
Mary first conceived. So how could he be before him unless we talking supernatural?
Supernatural.
Let's read some more.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua.
Yeah, y'all see that? Grace and truth. See, grace and truth was always there, but we didn't want to hear it. Y'all, we had a rough time in the wilderness. Do you know more people died in the wilderness than when the plagues hit Egypt? 3,000 at one time.
That was in one. Yeah.
I'm talking about buried alive.
We're not talking about all the other ones
On the way.
Because Miriam died in the wilderness.
Sure did.
Who you say?
Miriam.
Verse 18.
Yeah. Moses and Aaron too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No man has seen Yahweh at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father.
Where he at?
In the bosom of the Father. He has declared him.
Y'all see that, y'all? No man has seen the face. So we get a clear understanding again. And this is after Exodus. So either you're saying the Messiah is giving out false information here, or that was him that Moses saw in Ezekiel. Let's get that Exodus. I'm sorry, it's Exodus 33. We're going to come back to the mother. We're going to take it out of order just a little bit because everybody run to this one, Exodus 33. And I'm going to give you homework on the other ones who thought they saw the Father. But when you see Christ, he represents the Father to the fullest. To the fullest. He never broke a law. Guile never came out of his mouth. He healed blind. He healed sick. He run the devil off. The disciples told him, we got power over demons. They scared us. They scared us. Instead of you scared of them. You hear something drop in the living room, there you go peeping out of another room. Who is that in there? If something come out of the burglar.
You don't run your house.
You're right. Who in there?
You can't run your house. You peeking out. You peeking out.
Pick it out. Who is that?
I'm gonna walk through mine. Go
ahead.
There's gonna be some furniture moving.
Boy, look.
In John chapter 10, tells you many of the works that I did of my Father bear witness of me.
That's right. Bear witness of me. I'm his representative. If you want to check somebody, who you going to get that never sinned? Who you got? Moses? Who you got? Hezekiah? Who you got? David? Who you got that you disrespect me and choose somebody else? So y'all, we're going to speed this up a little bit, y'all. We kind of run out of time. I want to get through these. What we got? Exodus 33. What you laughing at, bro?
You.
Go ahead. That's what I say. We're going to speed it up.
Yeah, we always behind.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here, man.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, bro.
33 and what?
We're going to start about,
18.
let's start about 11.
11.
Yeah, down to
23.
Yeah, to 23.
Exodus chapter 33 verse 11. And the Most High spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle.
So let's not get it twisted when he say he speak face to face. That don't mean they were actually looking at somebody. Look, when the Catholics go in there to get sin put off of them, they face to face with that priest, but they can't see him, can they?
Right.
When you go into certain places, look, when you talking on a phone, you're talking to somebody face to face. There's actually their voice. That's technically what it's meaning. Face to face, but Moses never saw the face of the Most High. Not and live. Let's read some more. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
And Moses said unto Elohim, see, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight. And consider that this nation is thy people.
See, so he says, show me thy grace. We just read in John that where it say Moses brought the law, but Christ brought truth and grace and mercy. Show me who mercy is. Let's get some more.
And he said, verse 14.
Yeah.
And he said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence.
And see, and when you're talking about his presence, Christ is in the midst of us.
Yeah. Right.
He's always in the presence of us for the Most High.
That's right.
That's what he's saying, the presence. Show me who gonna be the rep. Who gonna be the rep? If it ain't me, it's got to be somebody else. Let's read some more.
It said in that one we was reading, all flesh was born with his light.
Boy, look here. Yeah. Go ahead.
For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And the Most High said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken. For thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
Right.
And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory.
And look, notice the glory is always lowercase g because he's asking him to see the representative. It ain't a capital G like he's saying, just show me you exist. Like people ask you, man, how you know God even exists? Christ was here as his representative. That's the only answer you got. You can't say somebody seen a man. I know a brother that live on Cote Brilliant. He say he saw him. Go ahead, bro.
He probably saw a thief or something.
Yeah.
In the night.
Yeah.
In the night. Had a hood on and all that.
That wasn't that thief.
Verse 18 again, Elisha.
18. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Elohim before thee.
See, so who's doing the proclaiming of another individual? And I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you keep going.
And will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, thou canst not see my face.
Right.
For there shall no man see me and live.
Right.
And the Most High said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away mine hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen.
So either one or two things has happened here. Either the Father got off his throne and left it abandoned, or the Messiah's up there watching it, one or the other. Or he showed him Messiah in his glory before he was birthed in the earth.
And that was a Passover.
He showed him that and let him pass by. He said, you can't see my face in him. Look, y'all have to understand when he said my face, you cannot see Christ in his glory representing the Father like that, because they couldn't even look at Moses when he come down and they put the veil on the face because it represented the Most High's face. But Christ is Moses because man is Christ. Man is the glory of Christ. Right. Moses is still a man. So he put Christ in there to where, look, you can't see him representing me yet because we're not in that order yet. You can see the back parts, but you can't see the front parts. Wouldn't the back be glory too?
Yeah. Hey, could we hit that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18 verse 15 real quick?
Real quick, Lashley, go ahead. Y'all, what is happening here is either we got contradiction with every other word of the Messiah that's saying no man has seen the face of the Father. We just said that, didn't we? Yeah. So either Christ is wrong and Moses is saying something different, but there's a contradiction if you don't understand it. But just like Peter, James, and John on the high mountain, he told them, hear ye him. Yo, you ain't making no more. And notice it's the same guys. Moses again. Moses got to see Christ in his glory, and he was called back up to the Mount of Transfiguration. He like, that's what I saw on the mountain when I saw you up there. The same thing. But they came to worship him. He resurrected them to worship him, to show his disciples. The same thing Moses saw in the mount. He saw Christ in his glory. But he couldn't see his face because Aaron was already making a golden calf. What do you think they would have made a picture of? Christ in his glory. So we know what to look for when the Messiah come. Now you outside of Isaiah 53, because it say there's no form of comeliness that we should desire him. He's a root out of dry ground. That don't mean he was ugly or nothing. Just compare. If you saw a root out of dry ground, you know what children play basketball, turn the grass into dirt. If you saw a root sticking out of there, it don't have a plant on it. It's just a root. It just look like what's some things you get when you put in your rice, the bean sprout. That's all it be looking like. He's saying he came at a bean sprout time. I don't put that. All the doctrines were around at the world at that time. That's why he's saying a root out of dry ground. When everything was dead, he showed up. So y'all, this ain't hard. It's just trying to bring the Father off the throne. Satan tried that. And he's able to go back and forth according to Job 1 and 2. He can go back and forth. The Lord done left the throne. Oh, it's on now. It's on now.
If you knew when your house would be robbed, you wouldn't have suffered it to get.
Go ahead, Elisha. Read what you're getting, Elisha. We're going to get this caught up while we got 10 minutes and 14 seconds. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 15.
What it say?
Read the whole chapter, though, because it give you information about Messiah. Verse 15.
Yeah.
It says, thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne, as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction.
What did he leap down from, Elisha?
From heaven out of thy royal throne. He says, thine almighty word. Remember, we just read the word was made flesh. That was not the creator. That was not the Ancient of Days that leaped down.
That's right.
He sends the representative down to do his work, to handle business. And he says, and brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. So he's saying that Christ came down and handled business.
Right.
Not the Ancient of Days. He sends his representative down.
That's
the
right.
Almighty word leaped down from the holy throne.
Real quick, Joshua 5:13. Somebody get that for me real quick. Y'all, we're going to go through these. That look like we're going to have homework today. But I want to get through the nations that where we talked about color. I want to get to them real fast while we got the last bit, because we've been talking about color. Y'all, this is about spirit and truth. We don't have to convince nobody that the Jews are black. You leave the door open for too many other black people on planet Earth. What we're talking about is the prophecies of God that cannot fail. They cannot fail. He tell you, you and your offspring going to be in this position.
Right.
Joshua chapter 5. Read real quick, y'all, verse 13 through 15.
Joshua chapter 5, verse 13.
Yeah.
And it
came hold on. I see a few pages still flipping.
That's already.
That's already.
I'm there.
My wife too. My wife too.
Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
Joshua 13 and what?
5 and 13.
5 and 13. And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us or for our adversary? And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of the Most High.
But as who?
Captain of the host of the Most High.
See, he's captain of the host. The angels are part of the host. He's captain of everybody that the Lord created. All of the other angels, the seraphim, the cherubim. That's why when you read Ezekiel 1, it talks about those around the throne. And then it gets down to who looks like the Son of Man. He's the captain of the Most High's army. He's the captain. Not that Negro in New York. We ain't read nothing about. And General Yohana is the captain.
No.
You will know him about how he devours chicken wings.
Expert.
Oh, well, I can run forward then.
Boy, look here. Go ahead. What else to say,
Verse
Zed?
14.
Yeah.
And he said, Nay, but as the captain of hosts of the Most High am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship.
And did what?
And did worship.
Uh-huh.
And said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant?
Now, this the angel of the host. This ain't the Most High. What is he doing bowing? It's not a regular angel.
Right.
He's bowing to the captain. He know the rules. He seen what happened to Moses previously because it was transferred to Joshua. Go ahead. What else to say?
Verse 15.
Yeah.
And the captain of the Most High's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot.
Right.
For this place whereon thou standest is holy.
See, and that's the
Joshua
same
did
thing
so.
Moses did when he ran into Messiah at the burning bush. He told him, pull them shoes off. And we read that the Messiah may come through the camp on us. That's why we had to always, when we was moving through the wilderness, have this little shovel thing. If you had to drop a load, you had to dig a hole, drop your load, and cover it up, because he say he dwell amongst us. He can't have no wet doo-doo in his sandals. He always say, I'm going to be in the midst of y'all. You can't have defilement.
You need some fiber.
Boy, look here. Right. But just wanted to show y'all that. And y'all match that up with the burning bush, and you're going to see the same exact thing. The captain of the host of the army of the Lord. It's not Michael. He's in charge of Michael.
Because you notice he didn't say get up.
Did. Even the angel in Revelation to the island of John on Patmos told him to get up. Get up.
Yeah.
We brethren. So y'all, let's speed this up just a little bit with color. Y'all write these down for more of that. But I want to we're gonna put Colossians 1:15 through 20. We're gonna say that for the end, because that's where he really tells it up. But y'all write down 1 Tim 6:16. And then 1 John 4:9 through 12. Them two gonna go together. But we're gonna finish that up with Colossians chapter 1 verse 15 through 20. It's gonna really handle some business. But now, y'all, let's just kind of deal with color real quick so we can get this straightened out. Give me a 106th chapter of Enoch, and we're gonna see the birth of Noah, what he looked like.
You say first chapter, Enoch?
No, the 106th chapter of Enoch.
First book of Enoch.
Yeah, 106th chapter. It's going to show what Noah looked like. Because we know what Adam looked like. It say he was born from the rich red earth. And it's called clay earth. It's still going to be mahogany like Elijah said. So when we see the color, ruddy is only going to be attributed to David and Solomon when the scripture is talking about it. That's blood coming up with the flesh that has melanin. It gives you black people that mahogany look in the sun. That reddish flesh color look.
Right.
And then whenever it talks about red, it's speaking of Esau, and it's just saying it's without melanin when the blood come up in the face. That's how you separate the two. Adam was not born without melanin because he was in the color of earth. Go ahead, bro.
106 in Roman numerals.
106 in Roman noodles?
Yeah.
Boy, look here.
It's
I got the first Enoch, and it's all in Roman numerals.
I know L is 50.
I think it's M. Yeah, it should be M.
ML.
Yeah. So M1V. That should be it.
Yeah, M1V.
M1V should be one of them.
Well, let's start off with Noah. Who is that gone? Emar, you finna go?
No, sis,
Okay. Huh? MV1?
M1V.
Well, look, it'll start off Noah.
Yeah, MV1, my bad.
It'll start off with Noah explaining some things.
We talking about stuff we don't normally talk about. C might be 100.
Yep.
Well, look, it'll start off Noah. Anybody else got it? Start it off if you got it, and they'll be able to match it up. Start it off if you got it.
And after some days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech.
Okay, so that's where you start off. My son Methuselah. Y'all see that?
Okay.
Yeah. That's where y'all at.
Oh, and someone missed 106?
Yeah. That's what he got on the notes. 106. Enoch 106. And Daniel notes it say 106. Enoch.
Oh, wow. Ain't even no 105 in my book.
What book is that?
Oh, no, yes, it is.
Well, let me see your copy.
It's that one. Yeah, you got that.
105 is short.
Yeah, that's short. It's right there. Yeah, I was tripping. Look like a head on the face.
There'll be a misprint.
Right here. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all in there? Let's get that, y'all. We got to speed this up real quick. Go ahead. Who got it? 106. Somebody get it.
And after some days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech. And she became pregnant by him.
Right.
And bore him a son. And his body was white as snow.
What was his body?
White as snow.
See how his body is compared to snow? It says white as snow. So go ahead, let's read some more.
And red as a rose.
And red as a what?
Rose. The hair of his head as white as wool.
So he had an afro. And Edoma, the scripture will say. And when you look up Edoma, it'll say afro. So here we got him with skin whiter than snow. So I want y'all to understand he's in a glorious position when he was born. Not just a white man being born, or we're saying he had white skin. He's in glorious form because he's whiter than what?
Snow.
Snow. Let's get some more.
But it's also said red as a rose.
As a rose. So we're seeing, even though he's like that, his blood is coming up through there. Go ahead.
The blood. And his diadem.
The diadem.
Diadem, beautiful.
And
as for his eyes, when he opened them, the whole house glowed like the sun.
See, so now y'all understand this baby is born in a glorious status. Because when he opened his eyes, it lit up the whole room. I want y'all to picture the lights out, and then he opened his eyes, and you in clear now.
Yeah.
It's like it's 12 noon. Right. Go ahead. What else to say, Liza?
Like when you see a baby and say their eyes bright.
Bright, and you say their eyes so clear. You can't see through their eyes. You just don't see no blemishes in them like you see in mine. It's a brown spot over here. It's a star I got right here. Again, but when you look in a child's eye, you say their eyes are so clear. But you're not looking through the white of that, what they call a white that starts with an S. I forget the name of it. What is it called? Sclera. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's clear. His eyes, when he opened them, the whole house glowed like the sun. Rather, the whole house glowed even more exceedingly. And when he arose from the hands of the midwife, he opened his mouth and spoke to Elohim with righteousness. And his father, Lamech, was afraid of him.
He was what of him?
Afraid of him. And fled. And went to Methuselah, his father. And he said to him, I have begotten a strange son. He is not even like an ordinary human being.
See, he's not. See, so we see it's not that he just had white skin. He's saying he's outside the norm of regular human beings. What did it say he looked like?
But he looks like the children of the angels of heaven. To me, his form is different, and he is not like us. His eyes are like the rays of the sun, and his face glorious. It does not seem to me that he is of me, but of angels. And I fear that a wondrous phenomenon may take place upon the earth in his days.
See, so we can't even compare his white skin to normal, like you're saying, Noah was white and he was an albino. Noah was representing the glory of the Most High. He was put in the womb like an angel because he's going to save his people. But we're going to hold that so we get the rest. Y'all read the rest of that and you're going to see what he was set for. It's going to tell him he's going to have 3 children and he's going to save mankind. This is why he was put there. That's why he glorified the Lord when the midwife, he had a natural birth. The midwife put him down soon as she laid him in the cradle. He said, hallelujah. They're like, uh-oh. his daddy took off. Pew! That ain't my baby.
He was born with that light and everybody could see
it. That ain't my baby.
Right.
Like me, look here. So we can't even say Noah was an albino. No. At that time, he had the glory of the Lord on him. Represent.
Because for him to represent salvation of mankind, he had to be in a pure state.
Yeah, he had to be Elisha.
Just like the Messiah.
So y'all
be pure.
Y'all read all that, but we gonna hit right to the points for homework. Genesis 10 is of the nations that got off the ark. So this is where the color controversy started. But this is where we're gonna get homework. Y'all read Genesis all, and then 1 Chronicles 1, y'all, we just gonna hit verse 1, y'all read the rest. Give me that real quick in 1 Chronicles 2, because it's gonna separate what's called Jew and Gentile. And then we're gonna tell you where the other colors are at, so it don't play bad on you. We want to hit a little Lamentations, y'all, while we get out of here, because these are what they call questionables. We're gonna hit some Jeremiah 8 where it says I'm black. We're gonna hit some Songs of Solomon where she says I'm black. That's not Solomon, that's the Shulamite daughter.
It's a love letter.
It's a love letter. She says I'm black. I'm swarthy. I was out in the sun. My people put me out in the sun. She's hollering at Solomon.
But she's saying she's dark like the tents of Kedar.
Kedar. So you want to see how dark she was? Pull up the tents of Kedar, and that'll tell you how dark she was. But that wasn't Solomon saying I'm black, because he said they put me on the field. Because all the Solomon women were in the palace. They were princesses and queens, so they didn't get out in the sun. They didn't get dark like that.
They were paper bag brown.
Paper bag brown, boy. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Go ahead. Where you at? 1 Chronicles 1. Y'all read that real quick. And then we're going to read 1 Chronicles 2, because I'm going to tie this all in together with color. And y'all, we're going to give a little homework out today, which is good. But y'all, we got to be able to represent ourselves through prophecy, not through colors in the crayon box. Because I don't care what crayon you pull out there, ain't nobody in the box match any of them colors.
Right.
1 Chronicles, y'all.
I don't know, Getty get real close.
Boy, look here, Getty is dark. But I'm telling you, he'll be high yellow in Zimbabwe. They'll be like, who brought that light-skinned brother in here? They're not going to stop that over here.
First Chronicles what?
1 Chronicles 1. Hold on. 1 Chronicles 1:15. Hold on, where I'm at. 1 Chronicles 1. What it say in 1?
The lineage.
That's what I want. See, Genesis 10 give the lineage, but what we're talking about, because we started off talking about if you can't find lineage of the people, them ain't no people. Those are religions that they're named after. Black Hebrew Israelite is a religion. It's a name that true Israelites, a tag has been put on them because they identify through a color, not through prophecy. So they pound you out. They holler nation of the Jews. We hollering Black Hebrew Israelite. If you could find the words put together in this Bible, Black Hebrew Israelite, you'll never find that. Let's get some more. Where we at real quick? 1 Chronicles 1:1. What it say?
It says Adam, Sheth, Enoch,
right,
Kenan,
right,
Mahalalel,
yeah,
Jared,
right,
Enoch,
right,
Methuselah, Lamech,
right,
Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth.
Now what it gets into now, it tells everybody that got off the ark. Then it starts with the sons of Japheth. Magog is in there. Now either this son was over in Chinese and was a Chinese right here, or if this the Russian, he was white at this point. And we ain't seen no such thing yet. So right here, it goes through the Gentiles. It goes through Ham. It goes through Foxide and Shem all the way up. It goes to Esau in verse 35. What it's talking about is the lineage and the powerhouses of these individuals. Like when you see verse 35, it says the sons of Esau, Eliphaz. The Teemite, the son of Eliphaz, the Teman, and all them 36. So it lists almost all of the Gentile nations.
And you see down in verse 53, who they got right there, 52 and 53. Who it say? Duke. Who are the dukes today?
Over in Europe.
Who are the dukes of Hazzard? Was they black?
No.
They was all white, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Trading places, the Duke run the stock exchange. Harry is called the Duke of Edinburgh, ain't he?
Yes.
And then you get to chapter 2, and what chapter 2 say? So those are all Gentile nations, so to speak, that didn't have the blessing. So now you get to the blessing. What does the blessing say?
These are the sons of Israel.
Who are these?
These are the sons of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, and Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher.
Now it's going to go through each son, children.
The sons of Judah, Er, and Onan.
So we can continue on, but
Right.
see how it separates Jew and all the rest of the world?
Right.
And then it goes in to break down each tribe.
Yes, sir.
The sons of Israel, that's what Paul was saying. I'm a Jew only because Judah is the head tribe. But I'm a Benjamite of the tribes of Israel.
So
I'm not Jew from that perspective. I'm not a religion. I'm just telling you they say they're the Jews because they're naming after Christ, the King of the Jews.
So was he grafted? So was he grafted?
Grafted in?
Was he was by his belief a Jew?
Well, yeah, technically, but what I'm saying is he broke it down like tribal origin, like right here. Paul did in Romans 11. He said, I'm a Roman citizen. I'm a Jew of Tarsus. But then he said, well, if you want to get technical about it, I'm only using Jew because it's the head tribe. But technically, I'm a Benjamite. I'm an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. I have to claim Judah because the Messiah, Shiloh, represents. I'm just saying I'm after him. I'm after Judah from that perspective. Judah is not after the tribe, so to speak. They're after the tribe scepter holder, which is Christ. So when you're saying I'm a Jew, you have to put Christ in there. This is what Kanye and Kyrie didn't do. They didn't bring in who's a Jew because they don't believe Christ is the father of the Jews, so to speak. They say in their writings, he's burning in hot doo-doo. So you call me anti-Semitic, y'all anti-Christ.
How can we be anti-Semitic when we born Semitic?
We don't even have to get there because what the problem is, we get it mixed up with white and black. Esau is a Hebrew Edomite. Ishmael is a Hebrew Ishmaelite. Jacob is a Hebrew Israelite. All Abraham's son, but he's saying the promise goes to this Hebrew who has been named Israelite. And black ain't in there, is it?
No.
If that, then you got to, so what do you name Ishmael? Hebrew what? What would he be?
Brown nigga.
Sand nigga, Hebrew?
Brown Hebrew.
Brown Hebrew. See, you're going to have to give them a color too.
Yeah.
So y'all, this is all we're trying to explain to you, that you got to be careful when you're saying I'm a Jew. You still have to explain your tribal origin. You have to get into Genesis 49 and tell them why you're Judah and not Zebulun. That's why Paul told you, yes, I'm saying I represent the head tribe, but I'm Benjamin. I can't leap outside. I can't go through the gate of Judah. I got to go through Benjamin.
That's right.
In the kingdom, but if you want to know who the Jews are, because it's Jews and Gentiles, all of the other nations, and the power head of the nation of Israel, which is Judah. Do that make sense? Yeah. Let's get this real quick, y'all. We're going to close out. I just want to do some colors real quick. So Chronicles, we did that. Y'all read all of the Chronicles. Genesis 17 and 18, y'all, we're going to hit these quick. So you can see each one of them had 12 tribes. So these three boys are conquering the three lands of Ham, Shem, and Japheth that got off the ark. These three sons conquered these land masses. And the prophecies go from getting off the ark of the land mass to these three groups of boys that dominate these land masses. The prophecies are only talking about these three groups of people.
Abraham, who's the father of them. He's still the father of the Edomites. That's why Deuteronomy 23:7, we can't abhor Edomite. Right. You can't hate all, and that's what they keep telling Kanye and Kyrie. Y'all violating your own law. Y'all violating Deuteronomy. You can't abhor all of us. No. Is that the truth or no?
That's the truth.
That's the truth. You can't say, oh, you niggas got a problem with, you Negroes, I should say. You blacks, I should say, got a problem with Amos 9 now. 11 and 12. You're going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, y'all, where we at?
Genesis 17.
And 18. Read that real quick, y'all. We're going to jump through these because we got to be out of here in 8 minutes. Go ahead. What it say?
And Abraham said unto Yahweh, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee.
What did he ask for Ishmael?
Might live before thee.
Go ahead.
And Yahweh said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him.
Who he going to establish his covenant with?
Isaac. With him for an everlasting covenant.
Right.
And with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful.
What he gonna make him?
Fruitful. And will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes.
How many princes?
12.
It's 12 tribes of Ishmael. Hold that, Elisha. Let's get Genesis 36 and 1. 36 and 1. So we have to keep up with these three boys, because if you claiming anything about you or the covenant of Abraham, we got to know the players in the game. And so far, I ain't seen I will establish my covenant with black. Have y'all? I will establish my covenant with the paper brown. What is it? Paper bag brown.
Earth tone.
And I will establish the final covenant with pale boy. Y'all see any of that?
It's something like pale.
Go ahead, y'all. Where we at? Genesis 36 and 1. Y'all read the rest. Go ahead. What it say, Elisha?
Now these are the generations of Esau.
Who is the generations?
Of Esau. Who is Edom.
Who is who?
Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan. Ada, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and the Aholibah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zeboim.
Y'all can read all the rest of that. But y'all see Eliphaz the Teemite that we just read in Chronicle, right? Eliphaz on down the line. You'll see him in that line as well as Dukes and Teman. But he took the wife of Canaan. Now you got some people say, see right there? He made it with Esau, so they can't be white. Says who? Says who? You can tell Esau can't be miscegenated out. White people ain't going nowhere. You can't have the book of Obadiah come to pass. Or you got to explain who is this running the world with nuclear warheads.
That's right.
Esau.
Then who coming after him? Boy, we don't stand a chance then, do we? Who coming after him, Elisha? Who coming after this superpower that's sitting on warheads and control the Holy Land? Who's coming after him if it's not Esau? If they ain't Esau, who are they? Are they the leprosy victims? Y'all think this is a Leviticus 13 problem with leprosy when your skin turns snow white and your hair turns blonde and then you considered healed? Is this the remnant of them holding the warheads?
No, not by a long shot.
And thou shalt take the heel of leprosy one.
No.
We ain't read that, have we?
No, I ain't saying it.
So let's get the last final, Genesis 49 and 1. And then we just going to hit these. I'm going to give y'all these homework on these other ones, but we have to read Lamentations 4 and we have to read that Jeremiah so that we understand black is always in a mourning state. What 49 and 1 say?
Genesis chapter 40. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
You get that off, we gonna let you get that
now, see,
off.
y'all cutting into my 8 minutes. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you've been talking all night.
Where we at?
Now he ain't got it.
49 and 1. Go ahead, y'all. Get that. Grab that.
Come on.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Right.
Reuben, thou art my firstborn.
See, so right there we start with the same thing in Chronicles chapter 1 verse 2. I mean, First Chronicles chapter 2. We see Israel. So he's just breaking off the same lineage, y'all. Y'all see how we keeping up with the people? And these are last day covenants. Now, if you want to see each one of these boys tell their sons, you get the 12 patriarchs. Yep. And it goes through each one. And Reuben gonna go through, he gonna tell you right here what Jacob said. You went up into my couch, that's why you lost the birthright. You took my wife. You went into your little brother's mama. You went into Bilhah, that was my wife. Reuben.
Looked in his father's face
and couldn't look in it for 7 years. But when you get into the testament of Reuben, he gonna explain exactly what he did. And then you get into the book of Jubilees, it tells you how he committed the act. He's sipping wine with his mother, and it's technically his mother. It don't matter that Leah was still his mother. This is still his mother too. It's your daddy's wife. And he's sipping wine with him. When she got drunk and passed out, he eased in and he said the deed was done before he could blink good. And it was over.
The testament of Reuben and
it should have been 12 tribes. Yeah. But when you get into that, you'll get into Judah, what he did wrong. He said, I took the scepter, Judah, and I gave it to a woman for a piece. I did that. And they was going to burn her. And I say, don't burn her. I need to be
more
burned.
righteous than me.
Shit, I gave her Israel's flag, so to speak. She got my jewels too.
And his ring, his signet.
His signet, yep.
Now I done broke the law. How we going to burn her with fire?
Right.
See, if I had gave her to my baby son like I was supposed to, I wouldn't be in this situation.
Right.
So y'all get into that heavy. But real quick, y'all, write these down. This is where you're going to see Ruddy. 1 Samuel 16:12.
Hold on, Danny. I'm sorry.
This is talking about ruddy, the color of ruddy. That means red blood coming up through melanin. It's called ruddy or mahogany. You'll only see this with David and Solomon. 1 Samuel 16:12. And when Goliath called him out, 1 Samuel 17:42, say he was ruddy with good look on it. And then when you get to Songs of Solomon 5 and 10, you're going to struggle a bit because it's saying he's white. But then it gets back into 4, you back it back up to 4, you see he's ruddy.
What was that Songs of Solomon?
Songs of Solomon 5 and 10.
Okay.
That may cause you some problems. But it's only... But now we get into Lamentations 4. What I want to... Real quick though, Lamentations 4, 1 through 7. And then y'all, we're going to close out with Genesis 25. Now, before I do that, I want to give y'all this last bit of homework. These are people who said they saw the face of God, but they saw his representative. Genesis 32 and 30. Jacob said, I seen the face of God. You saw the face of Messiah. That's why you made a pillar. Just like Peter, James, and John was supposed to make one pillar for the Messiah. He made one pillar. You didn't see the face of God. You wrestled with God's angel, the host of the army. That's why your thigh was out of joint. You can't whoop the captain.
And he just touched it. He just touched it.
Yeah.
That was Genesis 32:30.
He's like, I know how to slow you up.
Then we get Moses.
You just persistent.
Right. Then we get Moses, Deuteronomy 34 and 10, where he said, I talked to him face to face. The Messiah, he said he talked to the Father face to face. It says Solomon talked to him as he talked to a friend, but Solomon never saw the face of the Most High. If somebody behind the curtain and you like, what you doing in there? I'm behind the curtain. You're still talking to him face to face, and it's that individual. Do you have to snatch the curtain back to see for certain to say, okay, now we can get face to face? No, it don't mean that. That means you're having a conversation.
You know he got a face, don't you?
Right.
So that's Moses 34 and 10. And then we got Samson's mother and father, Judges 13, where she came back and say, I seen the face of God. He said, we gonna die. He said, if that was the face of God, we already would be dead.
13 whole chapter.
Yeah, 13 whole chapter. Y'all get in there, y'all see the conversation with the angel. And they thought they saw the face of God. He like, no, we be dead if we saw that. Let's get it straight. So it was common practice. They knew it. But real quick, y'all, we're going to close out with this. Lamentations 4:1. And it's going to talk about a morning state. Then I want to hit real quick Jeremiah 8. And I want, you know where it says
8 and 12.
8 and 12, that's where we black. So y'all going to see. And then y'all write down this Job 30 and 30. He said, my skin is black upon me.
But he was
because of the famine.
Yeah.
See, he said it's a condition why my skin is considered black or cursed, or where it's at, it has no substance anymore. When stuff died, it turned black.
Yep. True. Yep. And him being an Edomite, he definitely would have been.
Right, because white folks turn black. That's why they bury them quick. They turn black before the funeral. You can't hold them out waiting on some relatives to come from 2 weeks. Talking about they ain't got no ride from Mississippi yet. Hold them out. Delay the funeral.
Right. You talking about Job being in that condition, in that state for 48 years.
Yeah. Skin was black like an oven because it's withered. Cancer people turn really, really dark. Dying from the inside out, but dying flesh turns black. So y'all, we have to understand it's not because they make everything black bad. Black Friday ain't bad, is it? No, you gonna get the deals on White Friday, do you? Look, hold on. It should be better discounts on White Friday then, shouldn't it?
Right.
So y'all, let's get that real quick, y'all. We're gonna close out. Where we at? Lamentations chapter 4, verse 1. What it say?
Okay, how is the gold become dim?
How has what become dim?
The gold.
Look, old school like us, you had a gold tooth. You couldn't be out in the club smiling in your gold tooth dim. You better get some twinkle or a jewelry rag. When you smile, it better say ding.
Yeah.
How has the gold become dim? Y'all don't nothing look worse than dim gold with diamonds in it, don't it? Like ain't no luster there. You sure that's gold or that's fabricated copper?
Like copper.
Yeah, go ahead. Where we at?
How has the gold become dim?
Uh-huh.
How is the most fine gold changed?
The most what?
Fine gold.
Uh-huh.
Changed. The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street.
Uh-huh.
The precious sons of Zion.
The precious who?
Sons of Zion.
Uh-huh.
Comparable to fine gold.
What are we comparable to?
Fine gold.
Uh-huh.
How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers?
See, how are we esteemed as earthen pitchers now?
Like clay.
Like clay.
Right.
Go ahead.
The work of the hands of the potter.
Uh-huh.
Even the sea monsters draw out the breath. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel.
What has she become?
Cruel.
Uh-huh.
Like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth.
See, and when you read about anything, not to cut you off, like about ostrich and egg, they hide their eggs in the sand, and Job talk about them. He say they don't care for their eggs.
No, they'll leave them.
They'll leave them right there. Let somebody trample over. Hell, they'll trample over. If an ostrich happen to be birthed, it's happenstance. Because they don't watch the eggs. That's why it's saying the same thing. This situation like here. This how we had come. Like ostriches don't care for their children. We done dropped to that level. Go ahead. What else to say?
The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst.
Uh-huh.
The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them.
Uh-huh.
They that feed delicately are desolate in the streets.
Uh-huh.
They that were brought up in squalid embrace dunghill.
What they say we embrace now?
Dunghill.
Y'all see, we was brought up in
Terrible
scarlet.
doctrine.
Now we embrace dunghill. That's how they treat us today. Go back, slave. You black Hebrew Israelites. Go back, dunghill people. You ain't this people. You a slave.
Right.
Go back. Right. Go ahead. What else to say?
For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom.
Y'all see our punishment was greater than Sodom? That's how the gold has been made dim. Y'all, we was doing worse than they were. Go ahead, what else it say?
Still are.
Yeah.
That was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Her Nazarites.
Well, her what?
Nazarites. Were purer than snow.
What was they purer than?
Snow.
See, at one time, y'all, we were purer than snow, the Nazarites. Go ahead. That's not no sect of the Nazarites. That's number 6 chapter, a Nazarite. When you take a vow of a Nazarite, you're pure. Read the vow of a Nazarite. Couldn't go around a dead body. Couldn't do none of that stuff. Let's read some more. Where we at?
They were whiter than milk.
They were what?
Whiter than milk.
It says right there the Nazarites are white. Close the book up, y'all. Let's go home. No, we're going to keep reading. Because right there, there's going to be some problems, ain't it?
Yes,
just like Songs of Solomon 5 and 10. When it talks about Solomon, but if you keep reading, you understand it's only talking about purity. Solomon is like that, and his hair is like a flock of goats. He's a strong tower like towers. That's all they was just saying. It was just power. It don't make cause they using white, make white people better. Go ahead. What does it say, Elijah?
Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body.
What were they more?
Ruddy in body.
Y'all see how the Nazarites are now ruddy in body. It says white as snow, ruddy in body. Now let's see what else they look like.
More ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
So their face, visage means the face, is blacker than a coal. So you got a white body and a black faced man. Is that what these scriptures tell? That's what's going to happen if you trust color here. One will stop at white, the other one will stop at face is black, but then you have to talk about the rest of his body is white like snow.
All his body ruddy
and so where you see this individual at? That's the real colored man.
That's a colored. That's a colored
rainbow
right there. But y'all, all it's talking about is a state. It tells us how our polishing used to be like sapphire, like we read about the throne around God. It was like sapphire. The Nazarites was like that. Those that make a vow to God. Number 6 chapter. Not no group of Nazarenes running around. What else to say, Elijah? Is that it?
No, they are not known in the street.
Were they not known?
In the street. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick.
It has become like a stick, y'all. Like what it say about they women? Bones. What it say about the women? Do it say they feet for delicacy?
The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. The Lord hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger and hath kindled a fire in Zion, and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth, all the inhabitants of the world, would have not believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. Just like they say now, how could this people be overthrown?
And this gonna tell us
only by the power of Elohim.
Yes, sir. And it's about behavior.
And our behavior. But this is the thing that other books that claim we are African kings and queens can't explain how we've been brought down to this level.
They can't do it.
It's the only book that explains that.
Hit that 13, Lysa. We're going to close this one.
For the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests that have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her. They have wandered as blind men in the streets. They have polluted themselves with blood.
See, and
so that no man could touch their garments.
So we can hold it, y'all read the rest of that, but y'all see, and when you get into chapter 5, it's going to get even deeper. Even verse 6, it say, we have given hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrian to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we borne their iniquities. So when you understand that, then you get to verse 10, our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famines. They ravished the women. Princes are hanged up by their hands. They took the young man to grind elders cease from the gate. Y'all, can't nobody else deal with this. Lamentation 5 and 16. Woe, the crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. Y'all read that Lamentation 4 and 5.
Verse 3. Who does fit more than Israel?
We are orphans and fathers. Boy, come on, man.
Our mothers are as widows.
We the only people like that.
They say
how many fathers in the black household?
Boy, look here.
So they all treated as widows. No father in the house.
The most confused.
The fatherless children running amok.
That's right. They say the most confused day for us on planet Earth is Father's Day. Because we just walking in a circle. Who my daddy? Who my daddy?
That's a bad joke.
What you got back there? Push.
Real quick, my daughter's school, she got an event coming up.
Uh-huh.
It's normally called Donuts with Dad, but by not being that many dads in the household,
yeah,
they changed it to Donuts with Dudes.
Donuts with dudes.
This is gonna be mama boyfriend, mama brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's not a bad thing, y'all. According to Sirach 8, if they what is it?
If they love the
Sirach
be
9,
more a father to the children than
a husband to their mother, that fixes that problem because that's what Joseph was to Mary. See, so if you come into a ready-made family, you can't look at I got to get rid of these children like these Negroes teaching now because they chase the lion doctrine. Because when a lion come into a tribe with a herd and the female got two other male, they kill the male child. So these Negroes start running doctrine. We're just as modeled as the king of the jungle supposed to speak. We don't chase beast behavior. If you keep doing that, that's why you keep being called dog. You're going to do a doggy style. And then you're going to have to call her what you call her. A female dog is called a what? Yeah. That's what it's called. Dog and bitch. And they started to promote this. This how far Israel done failed. Where it's comfortable with that language. What you got back there, bro?
I told the woman, because she caught me staring at her 5 children.
Uh-huh.
And she asked, she said, what you want with me? And I got 5 children and
right.
You ain't got none. I say, you got 5 blessings right there for me right there.
Yes, sir. Where is that at? Is that Sirach? What they say that? 9 and what?
That's Sirach 4. Sirach 4 and 10. It says, be as a father unto the fatherless.
Y'all listen up, y'all. Listen up, y'all. Listen up. What it say?
Sirach 4 and 10. It says, be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto their mother.
Instead of a husband to mother, you can't go for the woman and exclude her children. Right. It's a package deal.
Right. You can't walk around saying, I don't care about your foot anyway. You don't know
boy, look here. Kick over his foot. Like Snoop Dogg did in Baby Boy. With Jody's son. Because, and then if the mother acts like the ostrich and leave that baby there with somebody and he beating him up and cause he asking him for something to eat and he on the game. Go away from here, little black. So y'all have to understand these things, y'all. But y'all read the color of Esau, Genesis 25 and 24. This is the first time it identifies color of a man beside on this side of the flood. Noah was named at first, but he was looking like the angels in righteousness. This is the first time Esau has come. And Esau can't be miscegenate out. He made with Chinese, they look like white Chinese. It don't matter who Esau with. You cannot miscegenate Esau out. I don't care who he mate with. They're going to look like Esau other than us.
That's right.
Whoever on planet Earth we mate with, it's us.
That's why the Arabs now today look as light as they do. They're not, but true Arabs are blue-black. Yeah. They real dark. Very dark.
So we got any questions before we close out, y'all? I hate we didn't get to all the script, but y'all got the homework, right?
Yes, sir.
1 John 4, 9 through 12, 1 Tim 6 and 16.
Hold on, stop that. All right, start.
But you know what? Look, what we wanted to do, we wanted to close out. We wanted to close out with Colossians. Hold on. We wanted to close out with Colossians.
Okay.
So let's close out with Colossians, y'all. We're going to get on out of Colossians chapter 1 15 through 20, just those 5 verses, and we'll close out. Because this is His Majesty, y'all, and ain't got nothing to do with color. Color gonna keep us in doubt. Jeremiah, what's that? Jeremiah 8:19. The daughters, I am black. Hold on, Jeremiah 8. Black unto the ground.
8 and 12.
8 and 12.
I'm black unto the ground.
I'm black unto the ground. But when you start at verse 1, that's a bad situation we found ourselves in, like Lamentation. Right. It means I just done been brought low. That don't make black bad people. Right. Because black people still got on white robes. That's his world. So, and then you got the Songs of Solomon 4. When you get into that, that's not Solomon saying I'm black and comely. That's the Shulamite woman saying, she's saying I was put out in the field. Solomon is a king. Right. Solomon out on no fields working, getting black. But we're looking for black in the Bible to say people of the Bible were black. Ain't nobody in the Bible was black. There's nations of people in the Bible, and you must know the nation. If you don't know you're talking to Esau and you think you're talking to a Jewish race, man, you way out of your league on this ball game. They need to know who you identify them are. See, they're giving you a name of black, and you won't even tell them they're from the tribes of Esau according to prophecy. And then when you get into Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9, you got to read verse 1 of first. Because those were Hebrews, those were Pharisees and Sadducees in there before we got run out in 70 AD. Yeah. That's when the Gentile came in and took over the synagogues, and now they've become the synagogue of Satan. But you got to be careful of verse 1. Verse 1 will get you in trouble if you ain't ready.
Right, because when it goes down to say, I know those who call themselves Jews and are not. But he says also in the script, all of Israel is not Israel.
That's right. So real quick, y'all, that Colossians, and we're going to close on out of here. Colossians 1, 13 through them 5 verses, we close on out.
Colossians chapter 1, verse 13.
Verse 15.
Start at verse 15?
Yeah. Yeah, y'all bag it up 13. Yeah, we're going to start at 12. 12, okay. That's what
Giving thanks unto the Father which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light.
The saints in what?
Light.
See, you got to be the saints in lights. Go ahead.
Who have delivered us from the power of darkness. And have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin. Who is the image of the invisible Elohim.
Who does he look like?
The invisible God. Master. The firstborn of every creature.
Y'all, once we understand that and quit putting him in Bethlehem first, we will understand this perfectly, that he's in a volume of the book. The first creation. Go ahead. What else it say?
For by him were all things created. That are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
Right.
And he is the head of the body.
Who is he the head of?
The body. The church. Who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. That in all things he might have the preeminence.
Right.
For it pleased the Father.
Who it pleased, Lysa?
The Father. That in him should all fullness dwell. And having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself.
Unto who?
Himself. By him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven.
So y'all, that's clear understanding, y'all, when we understand who only been up past that firmament. Christ say, I'm the only one been up there. Ain't nobody else been up there. And I come down. He told me to come down here and talk to y'all. Since when do the boss go talk to somebody and leave his supervisor up there holding the fort down? Y'all, hope that was some good understanding today. Hey, we didn't get into all of the colors that we wanted, but y'all read anywhere it says black, it's in a mourning state. Israel has been reduced to a low state. I'm talking about women that don't care about their children like an ostrich. When y'all get into the book of Job, you'll see that as an ostrich don't care about her eggs. She wouldn't care what she dropped her load at.
Right. She bury them and then run off.
Bury them and run off.
And that's why other animals, predators, sit by real close.
Yeah.
Watching where she buried them because they know she ain't coming back for them.
Yeah.
Them alligators and crocodiles and
Yeah.
all that, they go right to them because they know she ain't coming back.
And look, where she stick her head at?
In
the sand, and what's all out exposed?
That ain't what he want to say. That ain't what he want to say.
Who got something right there? Go ahead, bro.
Hey, that Deuteronomy 28, verse 58 and 59.
What it say?
It describes what you just said about the woman that don't care about the children.
Okay. You say her feet was delicate?
No, it says, if thou will not observe to do all the words that are written in this law, that are written in this book, that thou may fear the glorious and fearful name of the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed.
So y'all, what we're talking about, I believe that's in there about the woman. Our women were so delicate that they actually said their feet didn't touch the ground. It don't mean they wasn't walking. But you got to be careful. Some individual actually think a woman was so fine she could just float in the air.
Yeah.
She washing dishes ain't on the floor.
Right. Nothing's supposed to be added.
All it's telling you is she was so, the women of Israel was so glorious to other women. It's like like we say, your dung don't stink.
Right, yeah.
Their feet don't touch the ground. It's just a saying.
Right.
That's how our women were to the rest of the world. Like their feet don't touch the ground.
Right. They precious.
They precious.
And also how they were being treated to that day.
Absolutely, bro. Till we fail. Now we can't get a right one. If mine wicked, everybody in the room is wicked.
Yeah.
My wife wicked. And if you say yours ain't, you a sinner. Cause yours causing you this much trouble. Mine is the same way as yours. Don't misery love what?
Understand also that Song of Solomon is not just a love letter, but of the sister from Kedar, Solomon, but it's also a love letter between Christ and the church.
Absolutely, it's twofold parable. It's a twofold parable, y'all. How we looking? We ain't got no questions out there?
We're all good. It's a powerful lesson, brother.
Yes, sir. Y'all, we want to be in the image of God, and that's in the image of righteousness. Because he didn't name no color before he gave Adam control of the entire world. He didn't name what color. Then you see the dirt being formed over him. Y'all, righteousness always gonna come first before color. Don't care nothing about no color. What color was Judas Iscariot?
Black.
Okay. Black heart.
We just went over this.
Was he amber?
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. And we know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms.
Read.
In the 142nd chapter, it reads, I cried unto the Most High with my voice.
Yes.
With my voice unto Yahweh did I make my supplication.
Yes, sir.
I poured out my complaint before him. I showed before him my trouble.
Yes, sir.
When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path.
Yes, sir.
In the way wherein I walked, have they privily laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. I cried unto thee, O Yahweh. I said, thou art my refuge and my portion in the land of the living.
Yes.
Attend unto my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise thy name. The righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me. Hallelujah! Say what?
If y'all got a shekel or two, y'all, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you, worldwide audience, for y'all continued support. Thank y'all, family, y'all. We got the Feast of Dedication coming up, y'all. December the 18th. It's technically sundown the 17th, but sundown is the 18th on the Sabbath day. Y'all understand that? We're just saying we got a meeting coming up, y'all. We're gonna see if we're gonna do it after sundown the 17th, or we're gonna do it on the 18th, the following day, which technically is the same day. It's just either we're gonna do it on the front end or we're gonna do it on the back end. So we into that, y'all. We'll let everybody know we got meetings coming up real soon concerning that. So y'all get ready for that appointment that's coming. If you ain't got a menorah, you still got time to get on Amazon and get a menorah. Don't worry about that book with all the controversy. Get your 7-branch menorah. Because the Jewish race use a 9-branch menorah. See how they separate their doctrine from us? They don't use our book. Put our book on them. And quit putting them colors on them. They ain't into no color.
So they ain't got no color.
Right.
Right.
Turn the clock back tonight too. Think daylight saving.
I thought we was through with daylight saving time.
They wrote that out. They always say that, but then keep doing it.
Jacob just put it in the chat. Don't forget to set them clocks back.
They say that, but we still keep doing it. It's like I done heard 4 or 5 times we wasn't doing it no more.
They seeking to change times.
I thought